This is the Trib Live High School Sports Network, the official streaming partner of the WPIAL, featuring exclusive coverage of all playoffs and championships. Stretching across 10 counties, 2,000 broadcasts a year, live and forever archived. Trib, hssn.triblive.com.
High School. Tonight, the Mount Pleasant Vikings travel to North Athletic Complex to take on the North Catholic Trojans. WPIAL football on HSSN is sponsored by Seton Hill University, Excella Health, California University of Pennsylvania, Mr. Water Heater, Carlow University, Comfort Keepers, and by Trib Total Media. This game and the broadcast rights to this game are the sole and exclusive property of the WPIAL and the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Any broadcast of this game is intended exclusively for the benefit of the viewing and listening audience, and any use, rebroadcast, or distribution of this broadcast without the express written consent from the WPIAL and Trib Total Media is strictly prohibited. Alongside Jaron Steele, I'm Corey Campano. Thanks for joining us here this evening in affiliation with the North Catholic Sports Network. Glad to have WPIAL football playoffs here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. And, Jaron, we've got a 2-7 matchup here in Class 3A. North Catholic, the 2 seed, a perfect record in the regular season, 7-0, 6-0 in the Allegheny 7 Conference, the number 1 seed from that conference. And Mount Pleasant kind of snuck into the playoffs late, had a good start, lost the last 2 weeks coming into this one. But 4-3 overall, 4-2 in representing the third spot from the 3A Interstate Conference, and they've got a tough task here on the road, and what we expect to see a lot of from North Catholic is Joey Prentice. Didn't know if we would see that last week when we heard that he had an injury, but did finish the game and should be good to go here tonight.
Yeah, he looked good in warm-ups, and he is the guy that you're going to be relying on for sure tonight. He's thrown for 1,000 yards, leads the team in rushing with 481 yards, and one of his main targets, Nick Marr, is 22 receptions, 439 yards. Next closest guy on the team has 6 receptions. So look for that connection here tonight between Prentice and Marr for the Trojans.
Yeah, Prentice on the season, kind of Mr. Everything for North Catholic. He's got over 1,000 yards passing, and he's got over 400 yards rushing and that 26 touchdown mark. Big number for 7 football games. On the other side for Mount Pleasant, Asher O'Connor under center for them. Their starting quarterback, and they go to Aaron Alexson and Pete Billy quite often out of the backfield, Jaron.
They do. This is the numbers suggest that they have much more of a rushing attack than a passing attack, considering that their top 2 rushers have more run attempts than Asher O'Connor has throwing attempts this season. Alexson, 549 yards on the ground, averages 6.8 yards per carry, and he scored 5 touchdowns on the year, so he's actually tied with Pete Billy, the other running back in that department. Billy, 70 rushes, 370 yards, 5.3 average for him. So both of those guys are going to have to get going tonight if they're gonna pull the upset, and they need to limit the turnovers, because last week they really struggled in that department, turning it over 4 times against South Park, and that made them sweat a little bit last week when the brackets were revealed.
Yeah, it certainly did. But they're in, that part behind them. But, yeah, going to have to limit the damage here against yourself, I should say, when you've got a stout team in North Catholic on the other end that takes advantage of turnovers. Not only that, but defensively a stout team in North Catholic.
They are. And one thing about this matchup is these two teams do know each other a little bit, because they were conference mates the previous 2 years before this year, with North Catholic winning both of those games. The last time Mount Pleasant won against against the Trojans was in 1983 playoff game. So they're gonna. That was before I was born. It was before you were born as well.
Yes,
sir. That's going to be a. It's a long time ago, and they're going to look to replicate that feat here tonight. But you said it about the defense. 8.1 points per game is all North Catholic is allowing. Let's just take that to 8 because nobody's scoring a tenth of a point tonight, and that's second in the entire Class 3A behind the number 1 seed Central Valley.
Yeah, Central Valley scores 51 a game, gives up 7. North Catholic not far behind, scoring 45 per game, giving up 8. And North Catholic, just to put that into perspective numbers-wise, only gave up 55 points in 6 games in section play, 57 overall for their 7 games on the season. And they're coming off a victory against Freeport, 26-14, that they won last week. Mount Pleasant on the other end, which we talked about, Jaron, kind of sneaking into the playoffs. A tough-fought game that they lost 16-14 against Elizabeth Forward 2 weeks ago, who you see there on the bracket, Elizabeth Forward in the number 3 spot. They face Freeport tonight. Winner of this one will face the winner of that one next week. But then that loss at South Park for Mount Pleasant, 30-19 last week. They're looking to turn things around, as you mentioned, kind of didn't know their fate, didn't know if that was going to play a part in that game last week against South Park about them getting into the playoffs. But now that they are in, you could throw the records out the window, and they're hoping to kind of come in with some newfound confidence tonight.
They certainly are. And they even though they finished third in the interstate conference, they only had 2 losses in conference. That was to the top 2 teams, South Park and Elizabeth Forward. So when it came to playing teams that they were supposed to beat, they did just that. So looking forward to seeing if they can maybe pull an upset here tonight. Another thing about Mount Pleasant is they were in the playoffs last year, so they're starting to build a little bit of a program down there. And really, on the North Catholic side, Pat O'Shea, since he took over 4 years ago, has really built things here in Cranberry Township now, since they moved up here to Butler County just a few years ago.
We're going to take a quick break and come back right for the opening kickoff between Mount Pleasant and North Catholic. You've got the best seat in the house here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Sendale Motors in Greensburg proudly supports Western Pennsylvania athletics and student athletes everywhere. Sendale Motors offers customers a great selection of Subaru, Volkswagen, and Mitsubishi models, as well as quality pre-owned vehicles. And now with the new Stop, Shop, and Roll online buying feature, you can drive home a new Subaru, VW, or Mitsubishi without ever setting foot in the dealership. Visit SendaleMotors.com today or stop into one of our showrooms on Route 30 in Greensburg. We would love to meet you.
An art therapist, an attorney, a currency options broker on Wall Street, a paleontologist, a member of the PA House of Representatives, a cancer researcher, a teacher. These are just a few examples of how Seton Hill University graduates are changing the world. In fact, 98% of Seton Hill graduates move on to careers or advanced degrees within 1 year of graduation. This is well above the national average. But then, Seton Hill students and faculty are well above average too. Learn more at setonhill.edu/visit campus.
Back on the Trib Live High School Sports Network, opening kickoff here. North Catholic takes that kick, and Mount Pleasant will get the ball first. There you see in the white jerseys, blue bottoms, red helmets, and the blue numbers. North Catholic, if you could picture the USC Trojans in college football, jerseys almost spot on, and that was a kickoff by number 31, Daniel Long. Return out past the 25-yard line. Mount Pleasant will start at the 28th on the left hash for their first possession tonight. Asher O'Connor, number 1 for Mount Pleasant, goes under center. The wide receiver set out to the right, man in motion from right to left, and a give to the up back for Mount Pleasant, running off the right side. Not much room there. Gets to the 30-yard line. And that was Robbie Labuda that got the first carry of the game for Mount Pleasant. Labuda, 40 carries on the year coming into tonight, gets 2 on that pickup.
Mainly a blocking back, but on that play gets a good carry to start things out.
Now a shotgun set for the Vikings. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left, man in motion. It's going to be a read keeper for O'Connor, and he's going to run into a wall there. Not much room at all. Notably there, Seamus Straub up the middle laid a hit on him. Looks like they mark it right outside the 30. Give them 1 on the run. It'll be 3rd and 7.
There really wasn't much there if you would have handed that off either. North Catholic had that covered all the way.
3rd and 7 from the 31. Just under 11 minutes. We just started off here from Mars Athletic Complex. North Catholic playing their home games here. They'll be home. Should they win this week, they'll be home next week as well, being the number 2 seed, home through the semifinals in this WPIAL playoffs. Class 3A, the 2-7 matchup. Asher O'Connor give up the middle on 3rd and 7, and this is going to be a quick 3-and-out for Mount Pleasant. There's just no room to run up the middle. That was Labuda again, stuffed at the line, and it'll be 4th and 7.
Got a yard out of that somehow, but regardless, that's going to end up being a 3-and-out, and exactly what North Catholic's defense wanted to do to set the tone here tonight after kicking off.
That was quite the generous spot to give the yard there.
A friendly yard.
Yeah. Punt unit on for Mount Pleasant on 4th down. Straub back to receive, but it's off the side of the foot. On the punt for Mount Pleasant's Labuda, and they're going to mark this, far side official does, at the 48-yard line in Viking territory. So a net there of a 17-yard punt.
Yep.
And that is just a great start for North Catholic. Their first drive's on the other side of the 50, Jaron.
Yeah, that was looked like that one booed off the side of his foot. The wind isn't too much of a factor here tonight, so you can't blame it on that. I think he just missed it. So we'll see what Prentice can do here. I know he's got a bit of a injury with his hand, but he's ready to go.
Yeah, Joey Prentice, junior quarterback out there in the spread formation for North Catholic. Through receivers right, 2 to the left. Ball at that 48 on the left hash. Prentice, quick drop, screen out to the right. Caught there, little move into the middle. Open field up across the 40-yard line, and being brought down at the 39 is Isaiah Jackson. Needed 10, got 9 on the first down, and a nice start offensively for the Trojans. Prentice looks to the sideline for the play call. Kyle Topinski, big running back, stands next to him for this 2nd and 1 call from the right hash. Just inside the right hash, I should say. The 39-yard line. North Catholic's Prentice. Snap. And he'll give up the middle, bouncing it outside to the left, little stiff arm in the backfield, now cutting it towards the middle, enough for a first down, not much more. A lot of running for a couple yards there, but a first down for Kyle Topinski.
A couple yards there, but a first down. How about these signs down here that they call the plays with? The couple of guys holding them up. There's a crow.
Fist looks like
yeah,
on
fist
the other
and a crow on this play. Well, actually, they're facing us, so they got something else.
Yeah, whatever
going on
is
the
facing
side.
the field, we're not sure of, but it's worked so far. 2 plays and a first down for North Catholic. Now at the 36-yard line, Prentice. Didn't huddle, but they're taking their time, and again, they'll go to a screen. That one well over the head of the intended receiver. Out to the right there was Liam Straub. Never had a chance to catch that one, and Prentice kind of just looked like it slipped out of the hand. I don't know if that's the hand issue or an injury bothering him there, but that throw nowhere close to his receiver, incomplete.
Yeah, it just sailed on him. He looked like he was trying to lead the receiver downfield, and it was supposed to be a little bubble screen straight across, and well, there was no chance. They're just fortunate that one of the Mount Pleasant players wasn't there ready to pick that thing off.
Spread set again, now loaded on the right side. But Topinski stands to the left and gets the carry now to the right. Topinski again bouncing it outside. Good pursuit here from Mount Pleasant. Working him out of bounds that time was number 5, Tyler Reese. And they're going to mark Topinski right at the line of scrimmage, it looks like. So a 3rd and 10 upcoming for the Trojans in an early test.
Very good defense there. Strung Topinski all the way out to the sidelines. Really didn't have anywhere to go except for out of bounds or take a hit.
From the right hash, 3rd and 6. Hard count fake, and now looking to the sideline is Prentice. And we get those big boards out to for the play call.
Osprey.
A couple receivers out to the left, one to the right. That lone on the right is Nick Mayer. Again, Topinski, stands to the right of Prentice, and Prentice will drop. Has time, steps up, now floated, one-on-one coverage down towards the end zone. 50-50 ball is caught for a touchdown. A 36-yard touchdown completion. Prentice to Nick Mayer. A beautifully thrown ball and an even better catch on the other end. Nick Mayer pulls it down just inside that right pylon, and it's 6-0 Trojans.
That was a very you could let your receiver make the play there. He beat the defensive back on a 1-on-1 battle and made a wonderful catch, falling on his back into the end zone. The Trojans are on the board.
Ethan Marsico, the junior kicker, out for the extra point try. Snap good, hold good, kick good, and it's 7-0 Trojans. 8:26 remaining in the first quarter. We'll take a break, see if Mount Pleasant can do anything when we get back. You've got the best seat in the house here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
For every concussion that happens in professional sports, 5,000 happen in high school games. That's why Excella Health is pleased to have concussion specialists on staff. Running the concussion program is Dr. Jim Masterson. Dr. Masterson is a credentialed impact consultant and leader in concussion management. Excella Health also has the most advanced equipment and experienced people. To make an appointment with Dr. Masterson, visit myexcelladoc.org or call 1-855-EXCELLA-DOC. That's 1-855-EXCELADOC.
Unlock your story.
Back on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. 8:26 left in the first quarter. 7-0 North Catholic. Long touchdown pass from Joey Prentice to Nick Mayer. And Mount Pleasant, after that 3-and-out first possession, will look to change things up a bit here, Jaron. On that 3rd and 7 play, they went with a run and was stuffed by North Catholic. We'll see if Asher O'Connor gets to throw the ball at all more on this possession here. Kickoff goes just outside the 20. Taking a hit there for Mount Pleasant was the return man. That was Connor Johnson. Took a pretty good lick there, just shy of the 30-yard line. Mount Pleasant will set up there.
So I mentioned the Mar-Prentice connection at the beginning of the game, and sometimes you get paid off for making a prediction, and that's exactly what happened there. Nice play for a touchdown.
1st and 10 from the 28. Asher O'Connor on the other side now, Mount Pleasant, and O'Connor will give to the first man through, give off to the right side there, and again, North Catholic pursuing to the football. Going to be a short gain for Mount Pleasant. Labuda on the run again. They'll mark it at the 30, so just a 2-yard run.
Kind of surprised that Alexson hasn't had a rush yet.
Yeah, he seems to be lining up outside exclusively here to start this one. Alexson does have 8 receptions on the year. That's tied for the lead with Donovan Belair, the other leading receiver for Mount Pleasant. Donovan Bear, Asher O'Connor comes back out in the gun. Couple receivers out to the left here, 2nd and 8. Fake and a throw out that way, and it's caught and in traffic. And good job by Joey Prentice to make the tackle, because cutting back was Tyler Reese. And if he got past Prentice, there was some room there, but did get enough for the first down. Needed 8 and got just that. They'll mark it right at the 39-yard line.
Nice pass. They had 2 guys open. Went with the out receiver who made a nice catch. As you said, Prentice with a good tackle. That could have been maybe another 15, 20 yards if he doesn't get his hands on him.
No doubt. Asher O'Connor, good look there at his throw out to the left. O'Connor, as we mentioned in the pregame, Jaron, doesn't throw it a ton. He's a very good runner and good game manager from Mount Pleasant as he hands off to the right here. Little hole for Labuda, but again, not much as he crosses the 40-yard line down right around the 41. So again, a gain of 2, and somebody's down on the turf here for Mount Pleasant.
Holding their leg.
That looks ugly, and hopefully
it doesn't look good, unfortunately.
Hopefully nothing too serious. Couldn't tell who that was, Jaron, that down on the turf for Mount Pleasant, right around where Labuda got tackled. 6:50 left in this first quarter. North Catholic leading at 7-0, and a couple trainers and coaches out to tend to the player down for Mount Pleasant. Wow, that young man's being tended to. Reminder that between practices, games, school, and work, It is not easy to find time to go out and look for a vehicle, but now thanks to Sendell Motors in Greensburg, you can drive home a new Subaru, Volkswagen, or Mitsubishi without ever stepping foot in the dealership. The Stop, Shop, and Roll online buying feature at SendellMotors.com makes the shopping experience seamless, convenient, and safe. Start your search today at SendellMotors.com. Jaron, give me a motion there. 32, you're saying? That's Pete Billy?
I believe so, yes.
That would be a big injury for Mount Pleasant. Pete Billy, the 6'3", 240-pound senior, 3-year letterman, and Billy has run 70 times for 370 yards this season. And I think they're going to call some players out to help him off the field. This is a tough injury. As you see, Billy cannot put any weight on that left leg, and let's all take a moment to hope that young man is okay. Don't want to see the chance of a senior, Jaron, the chance to be your last game on the field in a high school football game, and I'd hate to see for Pete Billy it go out that way.
Yeah, absolutely. You never want to see injuries at any level. It's part of the game, unfortunately, but
he doesn't look to be putting any weight on that left leg.
No, he could tell right away when he was on the ground there that it wasn't very good, and it seems to be the case.
So Asher O'Connor and company back out for a 2nd and 8 from the 41-yard line. O'Connor gives to the first man through Labuda, kicks to the right side. Labuta's got a hole near the right sideline. He crosses midfield before he's tripped up out of bounds. A first down and more. They'll mark it at the 48 in North Catholic territory.
So Labuda hadn't had a lot of action in the early part of this season. He had 40 attempts coming into this game by my count, but he's already got 5 here.
Yeah, going to him early and often, and now coming out in an empty set are the Vikings. 1st and 10 from the 48, ball in the right hash. Man in motion, that's Alexson. They'll give it to him on the sweeps. Got a little bit of a room on the right side, follows his blocker, runs over one of his blocking men, and falls short, I believe, just short of the first down. See where the officials mark this. Looks like it's going to be right at the 39-yard line, so a 9-yard pickup there on the sweep to Alexson.
Well, there's the guy we expected to get the majority of the carries here tonight. He did a good job on that run, getting 9 yards. But with Billy being out now, imagine they're going to ask even more out of Labuda here tonight.
O'Connor sends a man in motion in front of him to the left, and again, they'll go with a run to the left side. That's enough for the first down as crossing the 35-yard line. I believe that was Labuda again. Mm-hmm. It was. They'll mark it right at the 34. Good pickup of 5.
So a nice response here by Mount Pleasant after giving up the early touchdown to North Catholic. And their first drive ended on a 3 and out, so this drive going much better.
Again, O'Connor by himself, man in motion. Give there. Again, that's Alexson. Alexson gets to the outside, up across the 30, across the 25. He's going to be dragged down from behind by Nick Marr, but not before. He got inside the 20-yard line to the 19. And again, it's that same play to the left this time, Jaron, where Alexson gets it in space.
Yeah, he's got some good speed. He gets 15 on that one and gets the Vikings into the red zone here. So we work down just under 5.5 minutes here in the first quarter.
Yeah, 5:26 on the clock as he ran out of bounds, did Alexson. Labuda stands behind O'Connor in that pistol set now. On the left hash, give to Labuda, up the middle, slivers past the defender, and he's going to go all the way. A little touch move at the line of scrimmage by Labuda. He takes it 19 yards for the score, and a great answer for the Vikings as they get their first score of the night here with 5:20 left in the first.
Yeah, just ran down the field on him. One passing play on that drive and a bunch of runs. Labuda pays it off, and extra point will tie it up.
Nice running that entire drive, Robbie Labuda. He's also the kicker. He's out there for the extra point try. Snap is good. O'Connor, the holder, gets it down, and Labuda's kick is true. We are tied at 7 with 5:20 to go in this first quarter. We'll keep it here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. How about that answer, Jaron, for the Mount Pleasant Vikings?
Very nicely done. Right down the field. and give credit to Robbie Labuda. He not only does he score the touchdown, he gets the point after too. He
gets all 7.
Yeah,
a little bit like Reed Martin
that
we saw last week.
We'll see if he punts here too
for Plum.
later on.
Didn't look like quite the leg that we saw out of Reed Martin for Plum, but reminder that coming up at halftime, it's the Trib HSSN halftime show sponsored by Cal U. This week, Don Rebel and Dr. Harlan hand out the final grades to the WPIAL teams from the 2020 regular season. And a reminder that next weekend, exclusive coverage of the 2020 WPIAL football continues with video and audio coverage of all 11 district postseason games. The best and only seat in the house for the 2020 WPIAL football playoffs is here at tribhssn.triblive.com. We've got a great one here in the quarterfinals, Class 3A bracket that we're in, the 2-7 matchup. North Catholic undefeated in the regular season. Mount Pleasant finished 4-2 in the Interstate Conference and got in as the 7th seed in this tournament. They answer right away on their second drive of the football game. Long drive that was capped off by a 19-yard Robbie Labuda touchdown run. So their first kickoff attempt here tonight for the Vikings, and it is Labuda to tee it up from the 40-yard line. Low lining kick that bounces at the 25, taken by an up man here at the 20-yard line for North Catholic. Reversing field, coming across the 25 near the 26 and being brought down there on the carry was Liam Straub, but a flag flies towards the middle of the field as well, and normally an indication of holding or blocking the back on the return team.
You said it flies. That official threw that flag 15 yards. That was impressive. He got his spot. And we'll wait the official's call here, but I believe you're either a hold or a block in the back. It is a block in the back. So instead of starting up near the 30-yard line, they're going to probably be back inside the 20.
North Catholic started its first drive in Mount Pleasant territory after a 3-and-out and a bad punt by the Vikings, but this one, bit of a different task. They'll start inside their own 20 at the 17-yard line at that right hash, and it'll be Joey Prentice back to work for the Trojans, who his last touch was a terrific lofting pass to the end zone where Maher brought it down. That gave the Trojans the lead. In motion there, Topinski to stand to the right of him. Prentice on the hard count, looks out to the left, quick hitter, and he's got him in but overthrew him, and Liam Straub was the intended receiver. And again, Jaron, a situation where, luckily for Prentice, that ball was not into a Mount Pleasant Vikings hands on the other end.
Yeah, he sailed that one. That's 2 now that he's sailed on little quick out passes, quick screen, wide receiver screens that almost ended up in grave danger.
Hard count here, and now a look to the sideline for Prentice and company. 5:10, the clock stopped at right now in the first quarter. We are tied at 7. Ball on the right hash. Topinski now to the left of him. Designed option out that way. A pitch to Topinski, and now it's on the turf. Topinski, I think, kicked it out of bounds or picked it up before.
Yeah.
He ran out of bounds. This is going to be a big loss on the play, but fortunately for North Catholic, not a turnover.
That's a 12-yard loss, I believe, back to the 5.
You're right, Jaron. That's right where they mark it, and that was great wherewithal by Topinski to just get on the ball and get out of bounds.
He wasn't going anywhere. Yeah. They were going to put him in the turf anyways. So he made, but that was not a very advised play by Joey Prentice there, pitching that ball.
Now Prentice will just go back to the run. Topinski designed give off the left side. It was 3rd and 22. Topinski gets maybe 4. So it'll be 4th and very long, and a punt from right around the goal line for North Catholic. Great hold by the Vikings. They got some help on that pitch from Prentice, but still.
I'm guessing there's going to be a coach, whether it be Pat O'Shea or an assistant, that's going to go over there and have a talk with Joey, settle him down a little bit, because he's had a couple of ill-advised throws and one really ill-advised pitch there on that last drive. But he's their guy. I'm sure they'll get him settled down.
Labuda and Alexson are the 2 men deep for Mount Pleasant here. Plenty of time for North Catholic to get the punt away, and it's a good one. High lofting punt towards the Mount Pleasant sideline, and it's going to bounce, looks like just outside the 35-yard line. That's Maher, the punter, but maybe not. That 30. Mark is actually just outside the 30, so great field position for the Mount Pleasant Vikings. That goes as a not-so-great punt after all, 29 yards.
It looked better than what it ended up being, I'll tell you that much. It was a high spiral kick, but I guess whenever you're backed up in your own end zone, a lot of times you're going to get good field position. Good job by Mount Pleasant's defense. We'll see if the offense can pay it off.
Asher O'Connor and company back out for the Vikings. We're tied at 7, and O'Connor will give to Labuda. Again, North Catholic ready for it, but Labuda bounces off a tackle and turns this into a positive gain. Looked like he might have been brought down for a loss, but he actually gets to the 31, gets 1 yard on the play.
He's been the guy so far. 8 carries, 42 yards in that one touchdown run. It was 19 yards.
Mount Pleasant had a 3-and-out their first possession, then answered with this touchdown drive after giving up one on defense. Asher O'Connor, the senior quarterback, in that pistol set by himself in the backfield right now. There's Alexson in motion. They give to Alexson again on that sweep. He gets to the outside, but there's not much room. Brought down as he gets right to the 30-yard line. So, again, just a gain of 1. On that carry, it'll set up 3rd and long for the Vikings.
I'll tell you what, though, that was a much better job by North Catholic of reading that play. The first 2 times they ran it went for 9 and 15. That time only 1 yard.
That was Primrose in on the stop for North Catholic. Big number 52, junior. And now Mount Pleasant will see if they go to the pass or not. Man in motion. They will not. It's a sweep, but this play's blown dead. They were trying to get Alexson again in space, but I think some movement up front.
Yeah, might have to now go to that pass because they're going to be set up with a 3rd and 13 here after that 5-yard penalty. First penalty of the game on the Vikings.
Yeah, we had just 1 on North Catholic on that kick return. So it is, as you mentioned, Jaron, now 3rd and 13 as we wind under 3 minutes left in this first quarter. Tied at 7 here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
What do you think, 4-down territory here from Mount Pleasant?
I would think in this spot of the field. I guess it depends on what you get here.
Yeah, if they don't get anything here, I would punt it.
3rd and 13 as it stands, and O'Connor will drop. He'll look to throw. Steps up in the pocket, rolling out to the left. He's going to take off. Picks up a block as he gets near the 30-yard line. Little shimmy move, and he's brought down inbounds just across the 30-yard line. So got maybe half that back. Then mark it at the 29-yard line. So he got 6. So that'll put him in a 4th and 7 spot. And we'll see what the call is here from head coach Jason Fazekas.
Definitely going for it here, I would say. You want to pay off that field position here, right?
Yeah, I would think so. This is right around where they started. Well, in fact, it is just 3 yards ahead of where they started because it's the same series of downs. And remember that Labuda is the punter. So
he's going
see
out.
where, he's lined up to the right. So it doesn't look like there's any trickery formation here. It's Asher O'Connor in that pistol gun. From the left hash, man in motion. And Asher O'Connor drops the snap, has to pick it up, rolls away from danger. Going to have to get rid of the football. He does, and he has a man, but it's incomplete. Tipped and falling to the ground. That was Jared Yester who tried to bring it in. Even if he caught that football, Jaron, I think was 2 yards short of the line to gain. And Mount Pleasant will turn it over on downs.
Well, you know what, though? All things considered, they're turning it over on downs there, but that could have been a lot worse. You could end up with the ball back at the 45-yard line if he falls on it. Or, you never know, one of those Trojans could have picked that up and ran it into the end zone. So the fact that he was able to pick up that ball and throw it downfield was a big deal. I mean, it's 10 yards of field position right there.
We like the call to go for it.
Absolutely.
For Mount Pleasant, I think.
Just a bad snap kind of derailed it.
Yeah, that was a given that they were going for it in that situation. Minute 40 left in this first quarter. Again, tied at 7, and now the Trojans back on the field. Prentice in the gun with Topinski to the left of him. Fake to Topinski, pressure in the face of Prentice. He tries to roll away from it and is going to run into 2 Mount Pleasant defenders. Alexson, the first one to get the pressure there, and I don't know if Prentice got back to the line or not. We'll see the spot. Looks like just a yard short. That's going to be a loss of 1 on the run for Prentice.
That was a great job by Mount Pleasant. They didn't buy that fake at all. Both of those guys went right after the quarterback and made the play to get a negative yardage out of that.
Yeah, marked it at the 26, so it's actually 2nd and 12 here for North Catholic. Empty set this time as Prentice looks to the sideline. Straub goes in motion. They'll give it to Straub on the sweep. He gets outside up across the 30-yard line. Little cutback move. Got a couple extra yards out of that before he's bumped out of bounds. They'll mark it just shy of the 35-yard line. Nice run from Straub.
Yeah. That was a good run. He's puts him in third and manageable now instead of third and long.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing, actually, short side of the field there that Straub was able to turn that in to the type of gain that he got. They'll mark it right at the 34. It's North Catholic substituting some players in and off here, trying to get set. 1:26 up on the clock in this first quarter. Winner of this game will face the winner of Elizabeth Forward and Freeport playing right now, the 3-6 matchup. North Catholic's going to take a timeout. We'll take a timeout as well. Come right back. You've got the best seat in the house here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Unlock your story and find the power to do amazing things. California University of Pennsylvania gives you the keys to unlock your passions, your abilities, your dreams. With over 100 undergraduate and graduate programs and degrees, Cal U will help you shape your story, change your world, and build your future. Unlock your story. Learn more at calu.edu.
Back on the Trib Live High School Sports Network, I'm Corey Campano, Jaron Steele with me. 1 minute, 26 seconds left in the first quarter. North Catholic coming out of their timeout. They've got a 3rd and 5 in front of them here. So probably a good time, Jaron, to use that timeout if you weren't set up.
Even after the timeout, they're still going to look at their boards over here. You wonder if those are dummy signals.
I would assume that some of them are at least mixed in that way.
Absolutely.
As Joey Prentice says something in the ear of Kyle Topinski before this play and sends Straub in motion again. And again, they'll give it to Straub on the sweep. Straub looks for a block, gets one from Topinski down the sideline, and Straub still on his feet as he's pushed out of bounds across the 50-yard line. They go right back to the well there, and Straub gets all the way to the 46-yard line in Mount Pleasant territory. A big spark there from Liam Straub. And quickly, North Catholic gets back to the line. On the right hash, Prentice. Hard count and look to the sideline. See this often from the Trojans. When they get in a rhythm, they'll keep going and not necessarily go to that fake snap. But when they want to set up, hard count, try and get somebody to jump. Now Prentice will drop. He'll look to throw. Little hitter out to the right side. It's caught there. Maher up across the 35. And he's going to be marked out after a first down yard to gain right at the 34. Good connection there, 12 yards on the hookup.
Yeah, nice 12-yard pickup. We've seen this type of offense trickle down from college football over the last few years to the high school level, where they set at the line and then look for the play, almost like reading the defense first.
And now they're going quickly. Straub again goes in motion, and once again Straub will get the sweep call, and he finds room. Little crease on that right sideline. Liam Straub so far, Jaron, I don't know about you, I've liked the way that he's run the football. He's run to the short side of the field on all 3 carries. He's gotten positive yards on every one.
Yeah.
And that last one he broke for a burst that gave him a first down and put him in good shape in this drive. That one he only got 2, so it's 2nd and 8. He stands in the slot there to the left. Topinski in the backfield with Prentice. As they look towards the sideline, Straub ran out of bounds there, so clock stopped at 1:09 left in this first quarter. Tied at 7 in the 2-7 3A matchup here. Prentice drops. Out route to the left and little juggle there, but Straub does make the catch. Right around the 30-yard line, depends on the spot. Either way, we're going to have 3rd and medium here. They mark it at the 29-yard line.
So just a 3-yard play there.
Yeah, and it'll be 5 to go for the Trojans. Under a minute. Very well be the last play of the first quarter, depending on how this one goes. Prentice comes out by himself in the backfield. 3 receivers out to the right. Tight end in motion left to right for Prentice. Snap. Designed rollout to the right. Looking downfield, pressure in his face, and Prentice is going to get hit and dropped in the backfield. Coming up to make the play was Jared Yester for Mount Pleasant. Prentice tried to make one more move to get away from him, and he could not. That'll be a sack and a drop back to the original line of scrimmage, a loss of 5.
And that's going to be it for the first quarter. Now they'll have all 4 or 5 minutes here to decide whether they're going to go for it on fourth down or not.
It'll be 4th and 10 when we return for the second quarter. You've got the best seat in the house here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Comfort Keepers, the area's leading in-home senior care company and winner of multiple Trib Live Reader's Choice Awards, is hiring caregivers to make a positive difference in the lives of seniors. Comfort Keepers offers competitive wages, a flexible schedule, and great benefits. If you have a kind, caring heart, this is the place for you. Located in the South Hills, Monroeville, Bridgeville, and the city of Pittsburgh, call Comfort Keepers today to start making a difference at 412-653-6100. That number again is 412-653-6100.
A good story makes people listen. A good story communicated well makes people take action. Carlow University's communication majors become experts at taking a good story, telling it effectively in written, oral, or digital communication, and then instilling it with a call to action that could change the world. Carlow communication majors participate in internships with Pittsburgh's leading companies, which helps them apply what they learn in the classroom to the real world. If you want people to take action, major in communication at Carlow. Please visit carlow.edu or call the department chair at 412-578-6347.
Back on the Trib Live High School Sports Network, second quarter from Mars Athletic Complex. Corey Campano, Jaron Steele with you. North Catholic 7, Mount Pleasant 7 after one stanza, and the Mount Pleasant Vikings here to play in the playoffs. Got in with a 4-3 overall record, 4-2 in the Interstate Conference. North Catholic went 7-0 in the regular season. They face a 4th and 10 here from the 34-yard line in Mount Pleasant territory. On the field is the offense. They go with a quick hitter screen to the right. Enough room by Marr, and he breaks the tackle. He's going to go all the way. A little bubble screen to the right. It looked like it was going to be stopped after 2 yards, but Nick Marr made one move around the 30-yard line and took it the rest of the way untouched. A 34-yard hookup, his second touchdown of the game, and North Catholic leads it by 6 on the big 4th down conversion.
Yeah, well, that's who you got to go to on a 4th down play. Your big player, Nick Marr, and he paid off again. That's the second time tonight they've went to him in a big situation. He's rewarded them for it.
Marsico on for the extra point. It's good. North Catholic leads at 14-7. And to your point, Jaron, when they go to him there on that 4th down conversion, remember the last one was a 3rd down where he was single coverage by himself, and it was just a simple look of Prentice before the snap to say, hey, I got single coverage on the outside, and gave his receiver a chance. So 2 hookups of 36 and 34 yards from Prentice to Maher, and that's the 2 scores for North Catholic to this point. Mount Pleasant will look for another answer. Before they do, want to remind you that the 2020 girls volleyball playoffs continue tomorrow and next week with video stream coverage of all 4 championship matches only here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
And also a nice addition to the network this year, we're going to have A, 2A, and 3A broadcast live video. The only place you're going to be able to see those games. We'll have 4A, 5A, 6A audio, but
video for the championships you're referring to. Yep.
First time for the
could be one of these 2 teams.
Yeah, it could be.
North Catholic Trojans, big answer there. And Jaron, I think you made a great point before the quarter ended. They had time to talk about that play.
They did
on 4th and 10, and I think that was their obviously the goal to get the touchdown, but I mean to go to Maher and try and get him in space. He really only had to make one little move there around the 30-yard line, and then he went untouched past 3 or 4 Mount Pleasant defenders.
Yeah, one good block by one of his teammates out there. Didn't get a number on that, but he did make a good block to help spring him there.
This is Connor Johnson on the return here, and a nice move up around the 30-yard line, cross the 35, and he's brought down from behind by Jack Fennell. But not before the return man Johnson sets up Mount Pleasant with good field position again.
So now we're going to see if Mount Pleasant can throw another counterpunch. They did after the first touchdown drive by North Catholic, and they used Labuda a lot.
Yeah.
See if they can do that again here.
Well, you know that Labuda, if he wasn't going to, is going to be used a lot more now too, especially after Pete Billy was injured in that first quarter. Labuda standing next to Asher O'Connor, who hands off here. That's Alexson on the sweep, and Alexson turns it upfield north-south across the 40-yard line, marked down at the 41. A positive play of 3 on first down for Aaron Alexson.
Well, at least it's not raining tonight. I've been here to the Mars Athletic Complex 4 times this week. It did rain a little bit earlier, but this is the first time I've actually seen a game where it wasn't raining.
Actually dropping in temperature now. Feels kind of weird. It always is with the weather in Pittsburgh, but Alexson again goes in motion, and again he gets the call. Gets outside, stiff arm there, up across midfield, and bounced out of bounds around the 48-yard line. A nice job once again. When he gets in space, Jaron, Aaron Alexson is a dangerous runner on the outside.
We got a flag on the play, though. This may be coming back.
Missed that one. Aaron Alexson, nice build too, 6'1", 195-pound junior. Led the team in rushing with 549 yards in the regular season.
So the attitudes of the players, they're not going downfield. This tells me this might be coming back. We're having a heck of a discussion over here.
Head official was not even in the discussion.
The poor guy holding the spots down here by himself hanging out.
So are they picking this flag up?
Yes, they are. So,
or is this this is on North Catholic?
Wow.
So because marked, so there's the call. Illegal hands to the face against North Catholic. That adds on to the end of the run.
So was it the 48? Now
Labuda was knocked out at the 48-yard line. There you go, Jaron. Mark it at the 38, right at that left hash. So a big play for Mount Pleasant becomes even better after the call against the Trojans.
11-yard run turns into a 21-yard run, just like that with the penalty.
Man in motion now, and O'Connor will drop. He'll look to throw. Pressure in his face. He has to roll to the right. O'Connor has 3 red jerseys chasing him. He floats one downfield. It'll be well short of the intended receiver, Alexson, but a safe throw and an incomplete play that'll bring up 2nd and 10.
That's a smart play, though. He used his athleticism to get away from them big linemen, and then just knew there was not much there. Didn't try to force anything. Just lived to play another down.
Asher O'Connor is a senior, good experience there, and as we mentioned earlier, he does a heck of a job in game managing, handling the playbook, gets the ball into his skill players' hands often. He's a nice quarterback to have. As he sends Alexson in motion here, he'll pull it down and throw it, and it's just out of the hands of Labuda, who was streaking across the middle on a slant route. I couldn't tell if that was a little high or if that was one that Labuda should have brought in.
It was a little bit high. They had it though.
It was a great play call. They had North Catholic off balance defensively.
He gets that ball on target. That's a touchdown, but he is just a little bit too high. Labuda stretched out for it, but I don't blame him for missing that one.
Robbie Labuda, a lot of action so far in this one, the 6'1" sophomore.
O'Connor just 1 for 4 passing for 8 yards. He completed his first one, missed on his last 3.
And now they've got a 3rd and 10 situation, do the Vikings. Probably 4-down territory again. Labuda goes in motion out to the right. They'll set up a screen to the left. Caught there by Alexson. Alexson makes a cut and is brought down. Ball's on the turf. Was that ball out before he was down? I think so. Just shy of the 30-yard line. They point the other way. It's North Catholic football. Alexson gains 9 on the play, but then fumbles, and Jackson is the man that falls on it for North Catholic. And Jaron, as we mentioned in the pregame, this was a problem last week for Mount Pleasant, and that turnover bug comes back here again.
Yeah, it really hurts too, because they would have went for it on 4th and 1 there for sure. Not only did they turn the ball over, but they got a really good play there, set up well on a screen, and just credit North Catholic punching that ball out of there and getting the recovery. And so now they get to take over and chance to maybe build momentum and take a 2-score lead.
2 touchdown passes from Prentice to Maher are their scores so far. Prentice will throw again. That's Schraub that makes a catch. Little spin move up across the 40-yard line, breaks a tackle, and dragged down from behind. We'll see if a flag flies here or not. Very easily could have been a horse collar tackle. That was right in front of us here. Regardless, it's a 1st down and a pickup of 19 for Schraub on the reception. But, boy, I don't know. That looked awfully close to a horse collar, Jaron.
Yeah, I would agree with that. They might have got away with one there.
Liam Straub does get 19, though, and Joey Prentice goes back to work for North Catholic. Right at the 49-yard line, 1st and 10. Prentice designed roll out to the right. Little pump fake. Now he looks downfield. He's going to float one. Has a man just inside that Mount Pleasant bench. Making the grab again is Liam Straub. That's a 1st down across the 40-yard line, and Prentice had nice air under that football.
Yeah, he certainly did. That's another 13 yards and a 1st down. And Prentice has connected on his last 5 throws.
That one sets it up for a 1st and 10 at the 38. Ball on the right hash. Topinski stands to the right of Prentice. Hard count, look to the sideline again. 9:49 left in this first half of play. North Catholic leads by 7 and has the football. Fresh set of downs here. They take their time. Now Prentice sends Straub in motion from left to right. The fake. Prentice looks downfield. Single coverage, and it's there. Is it caught inbounds? No. Just out of bounds. I believe that was Maher again.
And I wouldn't have been surprised if he would have caught it inbounds the way he's played so far.
I mean, that was another great throw, too, from Prentice. The only player that could have made a play on that was Maher, and he almost got that left foot inbounds. The official was staring right at it, though, and said no. So an incompletion breaks that streak for Prentice there and sets up 2nd and 10.
7 for 10, 128 yards, 2 touchdowns. After those 2 early throws that sailed on him, he's been sharp.
And Maher's been his go-to guy for the most part. 2nd and 10, there's Straub in motion. They'll give it to him. Jet sweep out to the right. Straub cuts. Now he'll try and change direction, but that's just going to lose more yards. Good job by Mount Pleasant defensively. They were ready for that play. And Straub's going to be marked out past the 40-yard line, so this can be 3rd and long for North Catholic.
Yeah, about a 4-yard loss there.
And mark it at the 42. So, yeah, 4-yard loss, 3rd and 14 here for North Catholic. After all that momentum, couple big plays, and then just missing a touchdown, you go backwards this time.
Mike Tyson and the Icy Tiger on the sign there.
That's what's the play called, Jaron?
I don't know, but that's pretty good. It's going to be hard to get a read on those.
Prentice drops. They'll set up a screen over the middle. Topinski is there, makes the grab, looks for a block, kicks it out right, and he crosses the 35-yard line short of the 1st down, but this puts them in 4th and manageable for the Trojans as Topinski got from the 43 up to about the 33. Give him 10 on that completion. So substitution now running onto the field. Matthias Benson, the tight end. Jackson checks out for this 4th and 5. No hesitation here. Offense on the field for North Catholic. Prentice again fakes that hard snap and looks to the sideline. Clock stopped at 9:15. North Catholic leading 14-7 here in the 2nd quarter. On the right hash, Prentice will drop. Needs the pass on 4th, and it's just high and incomplete. Mount Pleasant holds as the throw goes just past Liam Straub, a bit high for the intended receiver, and he couldn't pull it in. That's a big stop for the Vikings.
Certainly it's a big stop for Mount Pleasant. There's 9:12 left here in the first half, and they're still right in this thing, only down a touchdown. Now they got to get that running game going again. They had a little bit of trouble last time. Went to the air a couple times, didn't have that pan out, so I would imagine they might get back to giving the ball to Alex and
Labuda.
Yeah, Labuda for sure.
O'Connor back out for the Vikings on the left hash, pistol formation, fakes there. O'Connor will keep off to the left side, bounces it out there, but a good diving tackle from behind. I couldn't see who that was for North Catholic, maybe Jackson on the tackle there, because there was a little room for O'Connor as he crossed the 35-yard line, but he didn't get much further than that. They'll mark it at the 36. It'll be 2nd and 7 for Mount Pleasant.
Not a bad little read there. Sometimes you just got to make those 3-yard runs with the quarterback to open up the outsides.
And O'Connor now. Oop. Man in motion flag flies here, so this play's blown dead.
Yeah, the umpire throws it, it's usually a false start.
And that's exactly what it was. It looked like the left side of the line movement there. So after O'Connor got 3 on first, 5 back the other way, that'll bring up 2nd and 12.
2 penalties each now. Both the 5-yard variety for the Vikings, 2 for 20 for North Catholic.
Ball at the 31-yard line and the clock rolling under 8.5 left in this first half of play. The 7 seed Mount Pleasant Vikings trailing by just 7 points here to North Catholic. This was the spot last year where North Catholic lost to South Park in the quarters. Alexson goes in motion for the Vikings. O'Connor fakes a look to throw pressure in his face. O'Connor rolls away from a couple defenders. Now floats one up, and it's going to work out. Mistiming his jump. There was Maziar's, and it was caught on the other end by number 25, Donovan Bear. A big pass play on a wounded duck pass from O'Connor that somehow found a receiver.
I can understand. Well, we got a flag, and I think it might be coming back. But I can understand why Macy Arch thought that was going to be short, because that ball looked like it was going to land. It was like land 10 yards short of where the receiver caught it, but.
And it's all for naught now. And I get what you're saying, Jaron. Maziarz, I think, saw his eyes went red there, and he thought he had a chance at a pick, and it ended up just keep floating. Did the ball to Donovan Bear, but an illegal man downfield was the call against Mount Pleasant, and that is a tough break for the Vikings. Went from 2nd and 12 back to 2nd and 17 here.
Yeah, big 5-yard loss there. That's a momentum killer.
Labuda gets the call, and now North Catholic ready in the middle of that zone. A stuff on the run to the left, and that was big 72, Tyler Musto.
I'll tell you what, that when you make a play like they just made, that pass play, and it gets called back, that's just like popping a balloon, man. That just, you just feel like you made the play of the game, like a crazy pass and a catch, and then you look and there's a yellow flag, and now you're staring at third.
Yeah, then the next play is that. Yeah. Musto makes a big stop in the backfield, so now it's 3rd and very long for Mount Pleasant. A little misdirection, give on a sweep to Alex, and Alexson has room down that left sideline, gets a nice chunk of yardage, but needed so many yards that it's going to still be well short. And I would expect at this point of the field, Jaron, I would expect a punt coming from Mount Pleasant.
Yep. Clock was stopped here.
An official comes over to talk to North Catholic sideline.
They call a timeout?
I'm not sure what the call was here. I think they're working it out on the field.
Both teams are on the sidelines. Oh, they want the clock reset.
They want the clock reset, putting a couple more seconds up on the clock. But either way, that was a 10-yard run for Alexson. And that brings up 4th and 8. Ball is marked on the 36. And Mount Pleasant already has the punting unit out on the field.
I don't understand why they stopped the clock only to run it again.
Now we've got a stoppage in play. And I think Mount Pleasant took a timeout here. So some confusion on the field. All works out to a timeout call for the Vikings. And they'll have a 4th and 8 out of their timeout. Remember that some of the top athletes in the WPIAL are featured every week on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Log on to our website this fall and check out which athletes we are talking to. You can also check out the Rebel Yell podcast featuring our own Don Rebel as he talks WPIAL football. New episodes every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Also follow him on Twitter at the Don Rebel. You think that timeout was to discuss going for this, Jaron, or just to discuss their formation maybe?
They might not have had enough guys on the field. I'm not quite sure why that whole sequence happened. If the clock was supposed to run to begin with, why did they stop it, put time back on, and then have the clock run again? Sure. I don't know. But it's over
now.
It's
stopped.
That's because of the timeout. Yeah.
And now it's a punt for Mount Pleasant. Good job by Labuda because that bounced into his hands, and it was great to just get it off here. It rolls just outside the 30. An attempted return here for North Catholic goes nowhere for Jackson. But good field position for the Trojans. They'll start just shy of the 35-yard line, and they'll look to build on this 7-point lead, Jaron.
Yeah, they've shown flashes on offense. I mean, last possession, they especially through the air, were slicing right down through the field, but then one big mistake and kind of nullified everything. They ended up not being able to convert a 4th down play.
2 touchdowns for North Catholic in this game via the pass, and both were to Nick Maher on the receiving end from Joey Prentice. And Prentice just missed Schraub on that 4th down pass. Their last possession with 6:42 now left in the first half. They'll go to work on a designed rollout to the left. Prentice escapes the defender, looking to throw downfield, check down to Schraub, and he catches it just before tiptoeing out of bounds, but a flag flies late. That was just a 2-yard gain on the pass, but we'll see what the call is here.
A lot of flags so far.
Yeah, picking up in the second quarter, that's for sure. Discussion with the North Catholic sideline again, so I think this is against the Vikings. Call coming. Still a discussion. I would assume if this is against Mount Pleasant, you accept the penalty. It was only a 2-yard gain on the pass.
You get the down back too, most likely.
Yeah, holding on the defense. It'll be 1st and 5 for North Catholic. I mean, there would be no reason to not accept the penalty.
Right.
With 6:35 remaining in this first half of play. Winner of this one faces the winner of EF and Freeport, playing right now at Elizabeth Forward High School. We'll try and get some scores from around Class 3A and around the WPIAL at halftime here for you.
10-yard penalty on that hold. In high school, it's 10 yards.
10 yards, excuse me.
Yeah,
that was a defensive hold.
Yeah, in the pros, it's 5
5
yards.
and an automatic first.
Yeah.
And you do not get that automatic first in high school.
That's right.
But they only needed 10, so they get it here, and Topinski gets the carry to the left side on 1st down. Not much room to run. He does fall forward to the 45-yard line, gets 1. Tackle came late from 36, Matthew Dean.
Well, boy, he's a big guy. I'm surprised. I'd like to see him run a little bit more between the tackles, try to pound it down the field. That's not really the style of offense that North Catholic has, but, man, he's a guy that looks like he could be a bruiser.
Yeah, he does have some pretty good speed to go with that size, but I agree with you. The north-south style might be better suited for him running the football. Joey Prentice now in the gun will look to drop and throw on this one. Little pump to the left, now pressure in his face. Tries to get away from it. He does momentarily, and now he throws it away near the North Catholic sideline. Boy, he was hounded in the backfield by Ian Fasano. And Fasano hit him late as well. Prentice took a big shot after he got rid of the football. No flag, and an incompletion will bring up 3rd and long.
And there was a receiver in the area for those asking. It was Topinski, the running back. And he got it back to almost back to the line.
I can't believe he didn't get sacked on that first wraparound there. It really looked like Fasano had him in the grips.
Yeah, the way he spun out of that was pretty impressive, just to get the ball off and not take a massive loss there.
So it's 3rd and 9. Ball in the left hash there at the 45-yard line. Prentice sends a man in motion left to right. Now a designed rollout that way. Prentice looking downfield. Still looking, surveying, throws, check down, and it's caught for a 1st down. Coming back to make the catch was Maher. Needed 9, and I think he got 11 on the completion. Just inside the 45-yard line in Mount Pleasant territory. Prentice had all kind of patience rolling right that time.
No surprise that he went and found his main target there, Maher, on that pass. That was a great conversion there. Keeps the drive alive and got him inside Mount Pleasant territory.
Clock stopped at 5:38 left in the second quarter. Prentice again will look to throw. Pump fake out to the left. Now he keeps it himself. Running, has room up the middle, up across the 35-yard line, cross the 30, and he's brought down from behind just outside the 25. A scamper for a first down and more. They'll mark it at the 26.
18
Give him
yards
18. Yep.
Yeah, so that was a good read by Joe. I'm not sure if that was a dummy look out to the receiver, but he looked out to that screen before he took off, and it was not there. So he decided he was going to make the most of it running, and he did.
If that was not by design, that was a very smart play from Prentice to see that wasn't there on the screen, because ended up turning into an 18-yard gain. They're just outside the red zone, are the Trojans. 1st and 10 from the 26. Sweep outside. Topinski has it with a lot of room. Topinski bounce, and he'll take it all the way untouched from 26 yards. Kyle Topinski makes it 20-7 North Catholic.
That looked like a hold. They got away with one there. North Catholic right at the point of attack. Number 4 from Mount Pleasant, I thought got held there, but regardless, that was Connor Johnson. Might not have been able to tackle him anyways, but he was definitely thrown to the ground as Topinski went running into the end zone. But the Trojans will take it, and they'll take a nice 2-touchdown lead here.
Extra point try, almost blocked, but it does escape that hand and go through the uprights. On the kick for Marsico, 21-7. We'll take a break here, come back for the Mount Pleasant drive with 4:59 left in the second. You've got the best seat in the house on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Sponsored by California University of Pennsylvania, only on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. I'm Don Rebel, joined each week by Chris Harlan as we discuss various topics highlighting WPIAL football. It's the HSSN Halftime Show, sponsored by Cal U. Inside every football broadcast here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Back on the Trib Live High School Sports Network, 4:59 remaining in the second quarter from Mars Athletic Complex. The North Catholic Trojans on the feet of Kyle Topinski go up 2 scores here, 21-7. That one was from 26 yards out. Mount Pleasant will look for a response at the end of this first half. And, Jaron, that was really a tale of North Catholic's plays just working out. It's as simple as that. They had a couple design plays where Prentice, avoided the sack, makes a big completion on that 3rd down scramble. And then they were able to set it up after the Prentice run for Topinski to have a wide open lane.
Yeah, he did a good job of rushing through that line and showing his speed. That was not a good kick at all there. Goes straight out of bounds. So
yeah, Daniel Long hooks that one pretty bad into the North Catholic side, beyond the North Catholic player standing in the sideline, and that is going to put Mount Pleasant in great field position yet again. It seems like, Jaron, that Mount Pleasant, has been in situations where field position-wise in the positive for them, and it feels like they might be able to put something together, but just hasn't happened other than the one response drive early on.
They've had moments, but they just haven't been able to put all those moments together. Really, the last drive got crushed by the hold or the illegal man downfield on that long pass play that was completed. There was a flag on the play, so second life here. They'll get to kick it off again.
So his flag was clearly on Mount Pleasant.
Boy, they were fortunate there because that kick went about
it kicked only went about 30 yards, and it went about 25 yards left.
Yeah, big old hook on that one.
now I love the play here. If you're the kicker, Daniel Long, he goes, "Let me line up on this other hash." After the last one,
it almost seemed like the ball fell off the tee as he was trying to kick it. Like it was like a Charlie Brown Lucy situation.
North Catholic will get the kick again, but back from the from the 35 now. Leading 21-7. Daniel Long.
Nope, we got another flag. I think they were offsides. They called an offsides on that one.
On North Catholic.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't take
it.
I don't know why they didn't take the ball.
Yeah, Mount Pleasant. Maybe they just knew that there'd be another offsides right here.
I
think that was the call.
Yeah, they're going back to the 30s. That's 2 penalties on this kicking team.
Both offsides calls against North Catholic, so now they'll punt 10 yards back from the original spot. Not punt, kick, excuse me, from the 30. I don't know, though. If you're Mount Pleasant, maybe you are hoping, like, on that kick. Daniel Long not exactly booming the ball downfield on the kickoff. I think they were trying to hope that, hey, maybe we can get one of our skill players, in space on a kickoff return.
Yeah, Alexton possibly, or, he's the one back deep right here.
Now from the 30, Long's kick goes to the 25, and it's dropped momentarily, now picked up by Johnson. Johnson has a seam now as he crosses the 40. Up across the 45, he's going to be brought down right at midfield. So a momentary slip there from Connor Johnson, but he turns that into a great return of 25 yards.
Yeah.
Right to the 50-yard line, and after all of that, half the field to go for Mount Pleasant.
It ended up working in their favor, making them kick it twice or 3 times, I guess, after the second false start on the kickoff. So, it works out for the Vikings. They're in good field position. Let's see if they can take advantage of it.
Half the field to go for Mount Pleasant. Ball on the right hash with 4:51 left in this first half of play. They trail by 14. Alexson goes in motion and gets the call on the sweep out to the left. North Catholic ready for it, and a flag flies, though, as Maher was making the tackle on Alexson. I think this is a face mask, Jaron.
I was thinking the same thing. He tackled him right up around the helmet, but we'll wait and see what the call is.
And that is the call. Face mask against Maher on the tackle. Personal foul is 15 yards.
+1 to Corey there with that call.
Hey, there we go.
There you go.
Inside the 40 in North Catholic territory, because Alexson actually lost 4 on that run. But the 15-yard penalty works out as a big gain for Mount Pleasant. So at the 39-yard line, they'll have 1st and 10.
Yeah, little subtleties in the rules. At the NFL, you take it from the line of scrimmage. High school, you take it from the spot.
Either way, a first down for the Vikings. Alexson in motion. Labuda, the first man through, gets the carry. He's going to run into a wall there of Trojans after a short gain. Maybe got to the 38 to 37 range there. 1, maybe 2 on the run for Labuda.
It's been a while since you called his name.
Has been.
He's 10 carries, 42 yards right now. But his last 4 carries, he's only gained 1 yard.
That one was 1 right there.
Yeah, 1 gained, then lost, then 1 lost, and then 1 gained.
2nd and 9 for the Vikings. No rush for them here. Plenty of time left in this first half, just under 4 minutes. Labuda will get the call again. Little sweep to the left side. Turns it back up across, turning the legs and dragging a tackler with him before he's finally stopped just outside the 30-yard line. That was a hard run for Labuda. Got maybe 5 on that. See where they mark it. They'll mark it at the 32. So he actually got 6 on that carry, did Labuda. And it's 3rd and short for Mount Pleasant.
Yeah, he turned a 3-yard gain into a 6-yard gain there just by churning the legs.
Been pretty impressed with him to this point, the sophomore running back. Wasn't one that we thought would be the featured back carrier here tonight, but he's done a nice job for Mount Pleasant. He'll try and get the call again here, but the ball's on the turf, and Labuda's going to have to come and dive on it outside the 40-yard line all the way back at the 44. A miscommunication there. O'Connor and Labuda, looked like O'Connor was trying to hand it off. Labuda didn't know if he was getting the football on that read option, and that is a huge loss of 11. Back to the 44, and it's 4th and 14 for Mount Pleasant.
Well, I give that as a team fumble there. What do you think? That's
yeah.
Because if Labuda doesn't sacrifice and fall on
probably O'Connor's fumble,
I
would think, and then Labuda gets credit for the recovery. And we get a stoppage in play now, a timeout taken again by Mount Pleasant. 4th and 14. They'll talk about it here with just over 2 minutes left in this first half of play.
Now, Corey, we got a yellow jacket in here. I thought Freeport was here last week.
Somebody hung around. He doesn't He does realize it's like 30 degrees out there, right?
Yeah, it's warm enough in here for him to crawl around.
That's true. We're tightly snuggled. It's been a pleasure so far, Jaron, too, to call WPIAL playoff football. We talked about it all season. Didn't really know what was going to happen this season. Didn't know if we would ever get to this point. There was, until 3 weeks ago, it wasn't determined what the seeding was or how it was going to work out in each classification. So definitely feels great to be able to call this one tonight.
Certainly does. It's great to be kind of back to normal a little bit. I mean, we got to wear masks and all that stuff. That's fine. We got a football game to cover tonight, and that's awesome. We got all kinds of soccer going on. It's just great stuff.
Yeah, a lot continues on the network tomorrow. Here we've got 2 minutes and 8 seconds remaining in the first half. Mount Pleasant's going to punt the football away. And it's a short kick, end over end, bounces at the 20 and bounces in favor of Mount Pleasant past the return man Jackson, and the Vikings will down it at the 12.
Good punt by Labuda there.
Sure was. That works out as a 32-yard punt, to the 12-yard line, and that's where North Catholic will set up. They have, I believe, one timeout. They have 2 timeouts remaining. Does North Catholic? 1 left for Mount Pleasant, and they've got 1:59 to work with here and a 14-point lead. Joey Prentice and company have moved the football pretty well here tonight. Prentice has 2 throwing touchdowns. Topinski has a running touchdown. Maher has both receiving touchdowns for North Catholic.
If they can get points here, man, that would be a dagger going into halftime.
Big time, because Mount Pleasant's had their opportunities. They just haven't cashed in.
And North Catholic gets the ball to start the second half, too.
Which is another big point, and I'm sure that is well in the mind of Pat O'Shea. So Prentice, again, whispering to Topinski in the backfield, sends the tight end in motion left to right. Prentice will drop, gives to Topinski right side. Topinski looks for a block, doesn't have much room there. Good pursuit by the Vikings. And making the stop there was Jared Yester. And that was a short gain, may have not even gotten back to the line of scrimmage. And North Catholic's going to let the clock run here, not use one of their timeouts. So, Jaron, to your point of getting a score being a dagger, they might just be comfortable in the spot that they're at, all the way back at their own 12, and saying, hey, let's just get this to halftime with the 14-point lead.
I think you might be right there. The question is, will Mount Pleasant use their timeout to try to force a punt if they get a stop here?
Yeah, we'll see. Prentice is letting the time run down now. And it's a give up the middle, second man through, nowhere to go. I think that was Schraub that got the carry up the middle, and there was just nothing. And Mount Pleasant, as you mentioned, Jaron, will use a timeout. Big stop in the backfield there. Spot is back at the line again, so it'll be 3rd and 10. And with 1:04 left in this first half of play, Mount Pleasant will use its last timeout. So now, Jaron, you're on the side of, personally, for me, I love that call by Coach Fazekas, because that's telling your team something going into halftime too, like, hey, this is potentially the last game. This is a playoff game. I'm not, going to be content going into the locker room down by 14. You want to try and make something happen.
Absolutely. And look at it this way. Yeah, this could really benefit the Vikings, but at the same time, what if North Catholic busts a big playoff here?
Yeah.
Then they got 2 timeouts.
I think you're trying to, again, put that confidence in your team by calling that timeout that you can get a stop here.
They don't have another timeout, so if Mount Pleasant or if North Catholic runs it and doesn't get the first down, they can get it down to about 40 seconds before they have to punt.
Still force that punt, yeah, so you're relying on the defense to make a play here. Remember that coming up at the half, it's the Trib HSSN halftime show sponsored by Cal U. This week, Don Rebel and Dr. Harlan hand out the final grades to WPIAL teams from the 2020 regular season. It's a 3rd and 10 for North Catholic, 1:09 left in the half. Prentice gives to Topinski, and he's going to be dropped in the backfield. Boy, Mount Pleasant read that play from the get. That was Ian Fasano who made the stop. Topinski's going to lose a couple.
three-year letterman and a senior, Ian Fasano, with a big play there. He's been in the backfield quite a bit tonight.
And they call the clock to stop here.
I don't know why.
And I think the official motioned that it was a Mount Pleasant timeout.
They didn't have any.
They do not have
another
timeout. That is bizarre.
Hey,
the head official motioned towards Mount Pleasant as if that was a timeout called by Mount Pleasant, but they had none going into that play. This is a gift for Mount Pleasant.
Well, the only time I've ever seen this before was at Colorado, Missouri, where they got 4 timeouts.
Yes.
They got 4 timeouts and won the game at the end.
That was bizarre. Not only that, they put 3 seconds back on the clock to 1:05. So I think they called a Mount Pleasant timeout there when they did not have one remaining. And now Maher's going to punt from the back of his own end zone, and it's an end over end. It's going to be a short kick. Bounces at the 35. North Catholic bounce just out near the 40. So actually works out as an okay punt for Maher. And the Trojans down it at the 39. So Mount Pleasant now will have 52 seconds left in this half of play. And I can assure you they do not have a timeout.
Yeah.
For this remaining 52.
They're not getting 5.
that was I think that was the call. I think that was the official call was a timeout.
They must. There's either we missed one earlier where they called it North Catholic called a timeout, or they gave them 4, one or the other.
Yeah. Either way, 52 seconds left. Ball in the right hash for Mount Pleasant. They trail by 14, and North Catholic gets the ball to start the second half. O'Connor will drop. He'll look to throw. Floats one down the middle, and it's well high and incomplete. Was looking for Alexson on a street route, but didn't have it.
Down to 48 seconds. It's kind of tough now because the run game is going to be tough to do unless you can get 10 yards of carry. So they're going to be relying on the arm of O'Connor here, I would imagine, to end this first half.
Coming into this game, Asher O'Connor only completed 29 passes in all 7 regular season games. So this is not the forte for the Mount Pleasant offense in this situation. O'Connor's going to look to throw again, though. He rolls to the left. Pressure coming from behind him. He doesn't see it. He's going to be brought down. And it's a sack for North Catholic. O'Connor all the way back out near the 42. Loss on the play, and with the clock running, we're going to be under 30 seconds here before they can get a snap off. 3rd and 13 now for the Vikings. They do get the snap off here. O'Connor will step up, look to throw, hits a man across the middle. Little cut back up across the 25-yard line, brought down near the 20. On the reception was Tyler Reese. It's actually right at the 20, so a gain of 22 on the hookup. And Mount Pleasant's going to hurry to the line and try and spike the football. And they do just that with 15 seconds left in the first half. Nice play script there for the Vikings. Good recognition by the entire offensive line to hustle up there, knowing that the spike had to come. Now you've got 15 seconds left and a 2nd and 10 from the 20-yard line.
Yeah, I would imagine a field goal doesn't do much for them here other than a little bit of confidence. You definitely going to be shooting for the end zone.
Yeah, I think
here.
No matter what, I think you're right, Jaron. I think this is trying for the end zone, no doubt. Asher O'Connor just hooked up on a 22-yard pass. Now he'll drop, looks, single coverage out there, and the throw is well over the head of Labuda and back out of the end zone. Good coverage there, too, from Jackson for North Catholic, and it'll be 3rd and 10 with 10 seconds remaining.
Now you may have 1 to 2 shots into the end zone here to end the half. That was not much. Not much was going to happen there. That was that throw was, I would say, a catch probability of about 1%.
Yeah,
not much.
Safe throw
there.
considering the time, but that never really had a chance to develop into anything for the Vikings. So here we go, 3rd and 10, 10 seconds left. He'll go to the other side now, corner of the end zone. Donovan Bear running for it, but it's incomplete.
Now they will
Coverage was there for the Trojans as well, so 4.9 up on the clock and a 4th and 10. I don't know. This is a 37-yard field goal, too. I don't know that that's in Labuda's range.
It's a one last throw to the end zone here. They tried both sides. Maybe they'll try the middle here on this last one.
Yeah.
Try to find either Labuda or Alex.
The middle didn't work on the Alexson throw earlier, but yeah, maybe there's a difference here, and they bring Reese out to the right with Alexson on this right side.
They did hit that slant earlier. They should have hit it. It was wide open.
So 4 seconds left. He drops. He floats one out to the right. Maziarz is there. He'll pick it off. So that's an interception on Asher O'Connor, his 6th of the season. Maziarz gets the pick to end the first half of play. North Catholic 21, Mount Pleasant 7. Take a break. We'll come back, talk about some things from that first half. You've got the best seat in the house here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
For every concussion that happens in professional sports, 5,000 happen in high school games. That's why Excella Health is pleased to have concussion specialists on staff. Running the concussion program is Dr. Jim Masterson. Dr. Masterson is a credentialed impact consultant and leader in concussion management. Excella Health also has the most advanced equipment and experienced people. To make an appointment with Dr. Masterson, visit myexcelladoc.org or call 1-855-EXCELLA-DOC. That's 1-855-EXCELADOC.
An art therapist, an attorney, a currency options broker on Wall Street, a paleontologist, a member of the PA House of Representatives, a cancer researcher, a teacher. These are just a few examples of how Seton Hill University graduates are changing the world. In fact, 98% of Seton Hill graduates move on to careers or advanced degrees within 1 year of graduation. This is well above the national average. But then, Seton Hill students and faculty are well above average too. Learn more at setonhill.edu/visit campus.
Back on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Halftime here at Mars Athletic Complex. The North Catholic Trojans 21, the Mount Pleasant Vikings 7 after one half of play. Jaron, we started out quick, but got kind of sloppy in that second quarter. A lot of flags, did have some scoring, and boy, Mount Pleasant missed out on a couple opportunities.
They certainly did. End of the half there, maybe got a gift on a fourth timeout possibly. We have to check into that. And also early on they had a nice long pass that was called back on a two men downfield that really nixed that drive. They had the ball inside the 40 another time, didn't convert. They ended up having a fumble by Alexson. And so, yeah, those are three right there, right at the top of my head, that really hurt them here in the second quarter.
And North Catholic, big player of that first half, if you want to say outside of Joey Prentice, was definitely Nick Maher. 2 big touchdown receptions, and he made a big third down conversion that ended up setting up a touchdown run 2 plays later for Topinski. He had a big first half, was good on the defensive end, and North Catholic really I want to say didn't even really play their best football and still up 14 at this half. So fortunate situation for them, and let's get a scoring recap from that first half, Jaron.
Sure thing. We'll start with Nick Marr catching a 36-yard bomb from Joey Prentice in the first quarter. Ethan Marsico's extra point made it 7-0. Mount Pleasant responded on the next drive. Robbie Labuda scored on a 19-yard run, and he followed it up with an extra point to tie the game at 7. In the second quarter, again, it was Marr on a nice fourth down play. He caught a little screen pass and took it 34 yards for a touchdown. Marsico with the extra point, and then Topinski found a hole in the Mount Pleasant line and scored on a 26-yard run later in the second quarter. Marsico's extra point made it 21-7. That's where we're at the half. Stats for you: Joey Prentice has been on target tonight. He is 9 for 14, 148 yards and 2 touchdowns. Nick Marr, 4 catches, 93 yards. Kyle Topinski, 9 rushes, 44 yards and 1 touchdown. For Mount Pleasant, their leading rusher is Labuda. He has 11 carries for 48 yards. Actually, Alexson has 6 for 49, so he's the leading rusher. O'Connor, just 3 for 11, 39 yards and an interception.
So those are your numbers in the breakdown. Again, the score 21-7. North Catholic with the lead. The band on the field here at Mars Athletic Complex for the North Catholic Trojans. They carry that 14-point lead in the half and get the football to start the third quarter. But for now, let's take a break and we'll go to the halftime show. It's Don Rebel and Dr. Harlan. They'll hand out final grades of WPIAL teams from the regular season.
It's the halftime show on the Trib Live High School Sports Network, opening night of the 2020 WPIAL football playoffs. We got a couple of semifinal games here. We got a bunch of quarterfinal games here. That's how things are working here in 2020. A lot of things have changed, but it's still a very exciting night indeed, and we hope you are enjoying the action right here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Our halftime show is sponsored by CalU. Visit calu.edu to learn how you can unlock your story. All right, well, we do it twice a year. We ask the assistant superintendent, Dr. Harlan, to come in, give Chris Harlan the night off. And what he does is he evaluates what has happened in the regular season. He does it at the midway point of the season, which this week with 7 weeks was a perfect fit. In week 4, he is back. He is giving us his final grades for the 2020 regular season in the WPIAL. And without further ado, here is Dr. Harlan. I have to bow when I introduce Dr. Harlan.
It's been a different kind of a high school football school year, no doubt. A little bit shorter, a little bit more socially distant. We missed some games, but all in all, it was a football season, and here we go to the playoffs. So looking back, we got some classes here. We're going to start with geography. And in this class, we're going to give an A to California. Most people will be able to find California on a map. It might be the wrong California, but the one here in Western Pennsylvania, they've kind of put themselves back on the map this year in football-wise. Undefeated season for California, only the 5th time in school history that they went undefeated. So an A in geography for California. Let's move on to some math classes. How about calculus? To me, that's one of those classes with lots of big numbers that maybe some people can't quite figure out. Here's one I think that will surprise a lot of people. Upper St. Clair, they've made the playoffs 34 times in the last 35 years. 34 for 35. Again, this year in the playoffs under Coach Mike Junko. What a run that program's had over the last 3 or 4 decades. A in calculus, Upper St. Clair. Another math class, Algebra 1. We're going to give a B to Jeanette. It's only a B because they did lose to Clareton earlier in the year. They can maybe get that up a little higher if they see Clareton again, but they get an A in algebra, B in algebra, because algebra is one of those classes a lot of freshmen take. It's kind of a freshman course. And I don't know if there's been any freshman in the WPIAL this year who's been more impactful than Jeanette quarterback Brad Birch. 22 touchdown passes, most in the WPIAL this year. Big-time freshman, lots of good days ahead for him, I think. But a B right now, Algebra 1 for Jeanette. And how about health class? We got a couple schools here in health class, Sarah Catholic and Gateway. Right now, they've got an incomplete because those two schools, if you look back over the season, they only played 4 games this year. Sarah played 4, Gateway played 4. They ran into some shutdowns. A lot of the COVID virus shutdowns cost them some games. But the WPL promised these schools months ago, back in the summer, as they sort of sorted this process out, they said, hey, if you got to cancel games, we're not going to punish you when it comes playoff time. And the WPL stuck to their word this week. You saw Sarah Catholic with 4 games. They're in the playoffs. Gateway only played 4. Both of them are 4-0, and the WPL didn't punish them for those games that were missed. And Gateway got a 2 seed in the 5A, and Sarah Catholic came as a 7 seed. But they're both in. And they're both competing here this weekend in the playoffs.
Well, Dr. Harlan's not done. We are taking a little recess. You can go out and play your paper football or run around the parking lot, get some air, because when we return, more grades handed out by the good doctor. It's the halftime show sponsored by California University of Pennsylvania on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Consider the future. Your future. At California University of Pennsylvania, you can build your life your way because we believe in you. We invest in you. empower you to create the future you envision. We give you the tools and teaching so you can rise up and achieve. Don't settle for someone else's vision of you. Build you at CalU. Visit us at calu.edu.
All right, class resumes halftime show on the Trib Live High School Sports Network opening night of the WPIAL football playoffs, and Dr. Harlan is here handing out grades, and he's getting right to the point. That's what I like. I like a teacher who gets right to the point.
U.S. history. Let's move to some history classes. We covered some math. We saw some others there. Have a history class.
You know, I minored in history, Doctor.
This was right up your alley then.
That's right.
Plum in U.S. history. We're going to give them an A in U.S. history to Plum. First time they went undefeated in the regular season since 1977. A little bit of history there for Plum. What a season they've had. Matt Morgan and the Mustangs undefeated. They deserve an A in history. Let's go to world history. You know, U.S. history is a little bit of a shorter time period. World history, that's a much bigger time span here. And let's go back to the 1960s, all the way back to there. How's that?
Oh, hey now.
1966 is the last time Elizabeth Forward had an undefeated regular season. They did it again this year. Second time in school history, Elizabeth Forward undefeated in the regular season. They get an A in world history as they head into the playoffs. How about a couple science classes here? Biology, we're going to give an A to Mount Lebanon. Because if you look at this team, last year they started a whole lot of sophomores. And talking to their coach, Bob Palco, he said, you know, the one good thing about starting and playing so many sophomores last year was that they grow and they get older. And this year they have a whole lot of juniors with a whole lot of experience. A strong junior class led by quarterback Joey Daniels. And this year that junior class really came together and led them all the way to a number 2 seed in the 6A playoffs. So an A in biology to Mount Lebanon. Another science class here, chemistry. We're going to give Stowe Rocks a B because their season kind of got off a little bit of a dud. They had to forfeit that one game, but nobody has beaten them on the field yet this year. And since then, Coach Leroy Johnson really has an explosive combination that he's kind of put together with this Stowe Rocks team. Played them all the way right to a number 2 seed in the 2A playoffs, and no doubt a title contender coming into these playoffs as the Stowe Rocks Vikings head in. So a B for Stowe Rocks in chemistry. And lastly, one more science class, physics. And we're going to give an A to Aliquippa here in physics because a lot of people like to say, you know, what goes up must come down. And if you look at Aliquippa, they've definitely proven that wrong this year. This is a team that has moved up from single A to triple A, now all the way to 4A this season, and nobody has brought down Aliquippa. Undefeated, number 1 seed in the 4A playoffs, and just a remarkable run by this program. They've been in the Heinz Field in the championship 12 years in a row. This year the championships aren't at Heinz Field, but I wouldn't be surprised if Aliquippa was back in the WPIAL championships for a 13th year in a row.
Doctor, what kind of grade do you give the co-hosts, Don Rebel and Chris Harlan, of the halftime show?
Oh, I think they got to give A's. They both get an A.
A plus?
For Harlan, definitely.
Oh. So I get minus and you get to an A.
You've got an A too, Don. You've got an A. We couldn't do it without you.
Good stuff. The good doctor, Dr. Harlan, thank you for handing out those grades. Next week, we'll start to take a look at the state playoffs as we are winding down the district playoffs and look at some of the teams that the WPIAL champions may be dealing with on the road to Hershey. It's the halftime show on opening night of the WPIAL playoffs. Unlock your story at CalU. Visit calu.edu to learn more. For the doctor, I'm Don Rebel. Enjoy the second half of the game you're listening to. Don't forget the scoreboard show coming up on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Yeah.
Back at Mars Athletic Complex, halftime here. The North Catholic Trojans 21, the Mount Pleasant Vikings 7. our score at halftime. Jaron, as you gave down the recap there from the first half, we kind of pointed out some bigger plays that happened, most notably the longer touchdowns. We had 2 passes of over 30 yards from Prentice to Maher for scores, and then a 26-yard run from Kyle Topinski. But one play we didn't get a chance to talk about was that big one that got called back on Mount Pleasant, where it was a great play by Asher O'Connor, the quarterback, to scramble out. He threw a ball that, it looked like it got shot in midair. It was wobbling towards a receiver, and Donovan Bear made a catch downfield after the pass got to him, and the big legal man downfield call came against Mount Pleasant. That would have put them around the 40-yard line in Mars territory early on in that second quarter, and that would have really given them a chance to get back into this ball game, but the penalty looms large, and now we sit where we're at in a 14-point game.
That was a really athletic play, too, by Asher O'Connor. I think he spun out of a sack, ran on the sideline, threw it on the run. It was not a pretty pass by any means. It was a wounded duck in the air,
yes.
and it fooled Maziarz, the defensive back, because it looked like it was going to land about 10 yards short of what it did. So he ran up to try to intercept it and went right over his head, right into the hands of Blair, but all for naught. And that really killed that drive. The next play, I think they lost 4 yards on a run play.
And then it was a punt.
And then they punted it away.
Yeah.
Yep.
So a big change of events there for Mount Pleasant. I have to say, the fight, especially after they lost Pete Billy early in this game, who was a horse for them running the football, 6'3", 240, and Pete Billy, 70 carries for 370 yards during the regular season, and he went out early with that leg injury, and it's been on the strength of Robbie Labuda and from number 11, Aaron Alexson, that have carried the load for the Vikings, but not having that third workhorse in your pistol wing T offense in Pete Billy. Losing him was a big one for Mount Pleasant, and they've really fought into this game. North Catholic, an undefeated regular season, to be trailing by just 14 at half. This game by no way, shape, or form is over.
No. They got to get a stop to start, though. Like you said, that's key coming out of the half. But if you're North Catholic, you come out here and score, whether it be a touchdown, field goal, they could still be 3 scores. But they get a touchdown and make it 28-7. That's going to make it really tough for Mount Pleasant to come back in this thing.
That's the thing with North Catholic that most people that we talked about in the pregame, Jaron, don't realize about this football team is, they can score 45 points a game, but only giving up 8 points a game. Very big, especially when you get into a 14-point lead like this situation has in front of us right now. Let's get you some other scores from Class 3A. So we can look to our site here on hssn.triblive.com around the 3A bracket here. Central Valley leading East Allegheny 42-0. South Park up 10-0 on Keystone Oaks. Elizabeth Forward up 27-0 on Freeport. So that does for the other 3 games around Class 3A. And let's run down all the scores from the WPIAL playoffs here tonight. Our last update, North Allegheny up 14-0 on Seneca Valley. Central Catholic up 21-0 on Mount Lebo. Peters Township leading Woodland Hills 20-6 in Class 5A. Gateway up 14-0 on Penn Hills. And Penn Trafford out to a 21-0 lead against Upper St. Clair. Pine Richland 41, South Fayette 0. In the Class 4A, the 1 seed Aliquippa Quips up 31-0 on Hampton. Bell Vernon leads Char Valley narrowly 14-7. Thomas Jefferson up on Mars 34-0. McKeesport leads Plum at the half 9-6. That's our closest one so far. And into Class 2A now. Apollo Ridge leading Washington 28-0. Beaver Falls leading Western Beaver 22-0. Laurel leading Stowe Rocks 14-6. Bit of an upset there. And McGuffey leads Sarah Catholic by just 1, 8-7. And into Class 1A now. The Clairton Bears 34, Olsh 13. Jeanette up 42-7 on Avella. Shenango up 14-7 on Cal. And we are waiting for an update on Springdale versus Rochester to complete the entire playoff picture there. But more importantly for us, 21-7, the game in front of us here tonight, the North Catholic Trojans, the number 2 seed leading the 7 seed in Mount Pleasant Vikings. We've got just over a minute on the clock here before the players come out to do their stretch before the second half. We'll take a quick break and come right back. We've got the best seat in the house here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Did you know that 300,000 people in southwestern Pennsylvania are food insecure, including nearly 80,000 children? Greater Pittsburgh Community Food Bank is here to meet this need. Through school breakfast and lunch, backpack, and summer food programs, the food bank's mission is to end hunger in our region. To learn more information, get help, or donate, call 412-460-FOOD or visit pittsburghfoodbank.org. Let's come together to make sure no child goes to bed hungry.
Sendell Motors in Greensburg proudly supports Western Pennsylvania athletics and student athletes everywhere. Sendell Motors offers customers a great selection of Subaru, Volkswagen, and Mitsubishi models, as well as quality pre-owned vehicles. And now with the new Stop, Shop, and Roll online buying feature, you can drive home a new Subaru, VW, or Mitsubishi without ever setting foot in the dealership. Visit SendellMotors.com today or stop into one of our showrooms on Route 30 in Greensburg. We would love to meet you.
Back on the Trib Live High School Sports Network, getting ready for the second half of play. The Mount Pleasant Vikings just have run onto the field here. They'll do their stretching. North Catholic to follow suit shortly. We just got word, Jaron, that timeout at the end of the half, there was a timeout remaining for Mount Pleasant. The first timeout that was signaled in the half was supposed to be for North Catholic, but the officials signaled to Mount Pleasant. So each team did get 3 timeouts in the first half. Didn't work out to matter, but
I do have an update from Rochester Springdale. My man George Guido's down there, and the Rochester Rams lead Springdale 28-17 at the half.
Wow. Well, you can always rely on George, can't you?
Yeah, that's right.
To be down. George has got you guys on the hook, and no matter what, he does a great job of coverage for us. And it's just fun to have this playoff atmosphere back, playoff WPIAL football quarterfinals here in 3A and all around the WPIAL, to have just a full slate of games here again on a Friday night. Just terrific to be a part of it. As we were mentioning right before the break, winner of this one takes on the winner of EF and Freeport. EF up handily right now at the end of the first half. If North Catholic were to hold on and EF were to win there, it would be North Catholic and EF here at Mars High School next week, because the home teams the top-seeded teams get the home field advantage throughout the semifinals. And as you can see, if you look on WPIAL.com, look at these brackets here. The championship for this classification is at North Allegheny High School at 7 p.m., and that's a Friday the 13th. November 13th in a couple weeks. So interesting how it's all broken down. Unfortunately, no games at Heinz Field this year for the WPIAL titles, but nevertheless, I would rather have a football game just being played somewhere than not have a WPIAL title game, and I'm sure the players feel the same way.
Yeah, Martorelli Stadium's a great stadium.
Absolutely.
They do have the garage door press box. Can get cold a little bit at times, but
great place to watch a game.
It is.
Terrific setting.
And then North Allegheny's got a nice big screen there for replays. So I'm sure that'll be used for the championship. Looking forward to seeing all the games being played. That's the most important thing.
Exactly. That's
far.
the main part that we wanted to talk about. And let's gives us a chance, I should say, to remind you that now and always Subaru and our friends at Sendell Subaru in Greensburg are committed to your safety. With multiple safety awards, Subarus make the perfect vehicles for your first-time drivers or for you and your family. Go to SendellMotors.com to learn more about 0% financing for 63 months on certain new models now through November 2nd. Sendell Subaru, Route 30 Greensburg. Tell them the Triv Live High School Sports Network sent you.
You can see Joey Prentice warming up on the sidelines there. He definitely has some tape around his throwing hand, but it has not really affected him at all tonight. He's been on target for the most part. A little bit of a struggle the first 4 passes, but after that, He's settled in and has thrown for 148 yards and a pair of touchdowns to his favorite target, Nick Marr.
Yeah, and really, I think it was just those that you mentioned early on, Jaron. It was really just 2 screen passes, too. It wasn't really a throw downfield. He was a little bit high when trying to hit Liam Straub on the 1 4th down play, the 4th and short. But other than that, I don't. If you would have told me coming into this game, if we didn't know about the injury, I don't think that we ever would have made note of that. Knowing that he got hurt last week, and he'll get a chance to put some more points up on the board here to start as North Catholic is set to receive the football to start this second half. They scored first in the first quarter. Mount Pleasant came right down and answered, and then North Catholic 14 unanswered since. They'll look to add to that now. And we'll see. Last time we had a kickoff from this 40-yard line, it took 3 tries before they actually got onto the field of play. That was the North Catholic Trojans kicking off. Couple penalties for offside calls as Robbie Labuda puts the ball on the tee. Vikings trailing by 14 will need a stop, as you mentioned earlier, Jaron. Need a stop on this first drive to hang around with the Trojans. Labuda kicks a low liner, bounces at the 30, taken by an up man there just outside the 25-yard line. Burst of speed up across the 35 and near the 40. On the return was Jack Fennell. So North Catholic, great field position again to start this first drive of the third quarter.
If it wasn't for a ankle tackle by Regis DeFranco, he might have taken that all the way.
Kind of a bobble there as he picked it up off the turf, but as soon as he had it in his grasp, he burst with speed up that left hash, and that's where North Catholic will start, right at the 40-yard line. Prentice in the gun, empty set. Snap is low and past his left hand on the turf. Does a great job to pick it up, does Prentice, and completes a pass on near the left sideline. I think that's Maziarz that made the grab. And he will be brought down at the line of scrimmage, but great job by Prentice to not just fall on that football for a 10-yard loss. He picks it up and makes a completion there. And all that goes is to 2nd and 10.
Right, that's the 5th receiver he's found tonight for spreading it around well.
Prentice will drop here. Now keep design run up the middle, cuts back up across the 45, across the 50, and Joey Prentice turns into Mount Pleasant territory all the way to the 45-yard line. Picks up 15 on the run.
We saw him run a design draw earlier that set up a touchdown from Topinski. That was very similar to that there, where he designed right up the middle and found himself a nice hole and got 15.
1st and 10 from the 45, designed option to the left, and it'll be a keep for Prentice. Prentice up the middle across the 40, churns his legs near a 1st down yardage, and is finally brought down, but I think he had enough here for another 1st down, Jaron.
Yeah, I think he's going to get 11 on that one and move the chains. He was the leading rusher for the team coming into the game, so not surprised to see him bust off some big gains like he has to start this half.
Especially with the game script dictating a 14-point lead. Kind of want to keep that clock moving on the ground. They did mark that at the 34. You're right, Jaron, gain of 11. As Topinski rotates to the right side of Prentice there in the backfield. Prentice will look to throw now. Quick hitter out to the right, and it's incomplete. Throw was back in behind Lasoni. An incompletion will bring up 2nd and 10.
Just a little bit behind him there. We saw him in the first half struggle with his first couple of throws, and then all of a sudden you got that laser dialed in. So we'll see if he can get it dialed in here in the second half.
10-17 left in this third quarter. North Catholic leading by 14 in their first drive here of the second half. Topinski in motion left to right. He'll get the carry. Topinski tries to bust it outside. He cannot. Coming up to make the play was Connor Johnson. Made a great job to shed the blocker in front of him, and he brings down Topinski for a big loss back to the 38-yard line, a loss of 4.
They've kept him in check other than that one touchdown run. He's on 10 carries for 40 yards to this point.
Yeah, and the touchdown was 26.
Yeah.
So there's your definition of keeping him in check. That's Kyle Topinski. Good runner is Topinski, though, just a junior. Big 3rd and 14 here for the Trojans. Man in motion and faking the sweep there is Prentice. He'll keep it. Now he'll launch it downfield. Again, single coverage. There's Maher trying to go up and catch it. It's intercepted. In the end zone, it's picked off by Tyrese. They had that 50-50 ball again. North Catholic drew it up that way, but this time it's Tyrese coming down with the football.
Yeah, earlier Maher won the battle. This time Tyrese says, I could do that too. And he steals the ball away and gets a big turnover and keeps it at a 14-point game. That's the stop that Mount Pleasant needed coming out of the half.
And it didn't look like they were going to get the stop. The way that drive started, North Catholic seemed to be rolling. And all it took was one incompletion on first down, and then a play made by Connor Johnson in the backfield forced the 3rd and long. And Prentice throws up the football and is intercepted there. That is the 5th interception on the season for Prentice. And Mount Pleasant will take over now. O'Connor, that's Labuda on the right side. Takes a hit but bounces off a tackler and keeps the legs moving up near the 25-yard line. Give him 5 on a hard run for Robbie Labuda.
Well, he was going well earlier, but they kind of stalled Labuda in the second quarter. That 5-yard run could be encouraging for Mount Pleasant fans.
I think you said it, though, Jaron. That pick, that was the stop. You've got to build off that now if you're the Vikings. That has to be the stop that turns into points for your offense. Asher Connor on the right hash, 25-yard line, man in motion. Again, they'll go to Labuda off the right side, and he cuts it out. He's got a first down and more. Pushed out of bounds near the 40-yard line, but the burst of speed from Robbie Labuda moves the sticks for the Vikings.
14
Looks like
yard
right
run
at
there.
the 40 or 39. They'll mark it right at the 39. You're right, Jaron, a 14-yard gain.
So all of a sudden now he's at 13 rushes for 67 after being held to 1 yard at 4 straight carries.
Good start to the second half for Labuda and the Vikings. They'll go right back to him again, the right side, and Labuda has a little hole again, bounces it outside across midfield, and he's finally going to be brought down. He stayed inbounds the whole way, tiptoeing the sideline. It took 3 tacklers to bring down Labuda, but there is a flag behind the play.
Coming back. That run is going to go for naught.
That was, I guess there was the hole for a reason there, based on the holding call by the official. Started at the 39, they'll mark it back at the 30. So
that's a theme of the first half now. Big plays and then a penalty.
Yeah, we saw that multiple times, especially in the second quarter. Play seemed to really slow down in the second quarter compared to the flow of the first stanza.
Instead of having the ball in North Catholic territory, they're back at their own 30 now as Mount Pleasant.
And it's 1st and 19 for Asher O'Connor. 3 receivers out to the left. O'Connor now will send Alexson in motion. They'll give it to him on the sweep. Alexson gets out there, but North Catholic, a couple defenders pursued the football, and Alexson's only going to get back to the 35. Give him 6. Primrose, the man in on the stop for North Catholic, and it'll be 2nd and 14. Clock already under 8 minutes in this third quarter. Still same score that we had at halftime, 21-7, North Catholic in the lead. O'Connor sends Alexson in motion. Now they'll give it to him to the far side of the field, the left side, and Alexson makes a cut in the backfield, makes another man miss, and then is brought down up across the 40-yard line. That's Prentice, who came in to make the stop. They'll mark it at the 41, so give him 6 more, and that'll bring up 3rd and 8.
If they get within 5 yards there, I'd go for it on
maybe
fourth
think
down.
about it. Yeah, and they actually marked it up at the 42, so it'll be 3rd and 7. Pretty generous spot there. And
you're not wrong there.
Alexson will take it. 3rd and 7 for the Vikings. Ball on the left hash. O'Connor Snap and a roll to the right, a designed rollout. He's looking downfield, check down throw, and sliding to make the catch was Donovan Bear.
No, it came out.
Looked like the first official on the far side was signaling catch, but the back judge said no, it hit the turf.
It was easy.
So it's an incompletion.
You're right on it, and I was with you until I saw the ball laying beside him, and that's we were blocked out of that at first by the defender, but now they're going to have to punt.
Official from the
he was blocked out
point of view, he was going to get ready to call it a catch. So that incompletion, no thought here on a decision for Mount Pleasant. They quickly put the punting unit on the field.
Prentice getting looked at on the sideline. I think he's going to be okay, though. They just maybe giving a checkup on that hand.
Well, that's a important hand.
Yes, it is.
For Prentice and the Trojans right now. Bunch set here for this punt now. Again, a low one that bounces into the hands of Labuda. Low end-over-end kick will bounce at the 32, takes a Viking bounce inside the 30, and will be out of bounds at the 27. So North Catholic will start there with 6:36 remaining in the third quarter and a 14-point lead. Reminder that after the game, it's the WPIAL Football Scoreboard Show presented by Comfort Keepers. Dawn Rebel is live from the Excella Health Studios at HSSN World Headquarters. She has all the scores and recaps from the big games on opening night of the WPIAL playoffs. Don't miss the WPIAL Football Scoreboard Show presented by Comfort Keepers after the game here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. North Catholic from their own 27 starts this drive. Prentice, designed option to the right. Again, he'll keep it, and he has a little bit of a hole. Good job by Prentice to stay north-south instead of running out of bounds there, and he turns it into a nice gain out to the 40-yard line. Give him 13 on the run for Joey Prentice.
Now he's the leading rusher for the Trojans at 50 yards on 6 carries. That includes 2 sacks.
Having a terrific night again, as he really has done all year. Joey Prentice, junior quarterback. Looks at the sideline here for the play call. Empty set here. 5 wide, now in motion. Goes Liam Straub. He'll get it in motion. Straub, again, loves that right side on the sweep, and he gets up near 50. The 50, I should say. And I think he's just short of the line to gain. They'll mark it right at the 49, so a nice 9-yard scamper for Straub. This is starting just how the last drive did, Jaron, for North Catholic. Once they got across midfield is where it stalled out. 2nd and 1 for the Trojans. Ball in the right hash, and Joey Prentice again by himself in the backfield. He'll drop and look to throw. Quick hitter out to the right. He's got Maher there. It's a first down, and Maher drags a tackler up across the 45. Mark it at the 43-yard line. Nice pickup of 8 on the connection there. Maher's been the go-to guy tonight for Prentice. Coming into this game, Maher was by far the leading receiver with 22 receptions. Next closest was 6.
He's over 100 yards receiving now on the night.
Having a terrific night, and Prentice will look to throw again, but now he just tucks immediately and runs. Saw that hole open up on the left side. Now he cuts back towards the middle. Prentice still on his feet, and he takes a hit, but not before he got to the 25-yard line, and a big run of 18 yards. Will set up a 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Joey Prentice using his legs often here in the third quarter.
Yeah, he's rolling now. Joey is.
Yeah, and you could see, I mean, right there, it was a designed pass play.
Yeah.
And he just looked and said, if there's any little opening, I'm going.
There was an opening for sure.
That was more than little, that's for sure. As we near 4.5 left in this third quarter. 1st and 10 from the 25. Topinski stands to the right of Prentice. Man in motion right to left now. 2 receivers each side. Topinski gets the handoff up the middle. Cut back right at the 20. Topinski another move to the outside. He gets across the 15-yard line, and Reese is going to bring him down, but not before. Topinski gets 11 and another first down for North Catholic.
Yeah, going to the ground here, both Prentice and Topinski with big chunks on this drive, and now I'd be surprised if they even go to the air they're getting about 11 yards to carry here the last few plays.
Good push from the line there. Topinski had a nice little hole next to that A gap. Just under 4 minutes in the third. 1st and 10 from the 14-yard line. Again, Prentice takes his time, steps back. What's the play call there, Jaron?
I don't know.
Tyson Apple.
Tyson Apple.
Now in the gun, Prentice will look.
Oh, flag.
Flag flies here. We'll blow this play dead. He was looking for a little hitch over the middle to Fennell, but we will not get there as it's an illegal motion call against North Catholic.
5-yard penalty. Set him back.
Brings it back to the 19.
4th penalty of the game on the, or actually 5th, I beg your pardon, 5th penalty on North Catholic.
Honestly seems like there's been more.
They had one that was declined.
So
2 of them were on the kickoff.
On the kickoff, right. So it's 1st and 15 here. From the 19-yard line, Prentice will drop and look to throw. And again, just a huge hole on the left. He tucks it and runs. Prentice can really use his legs, gets all the way inside the 10-yard line. Just that little half second, Prentice takes back, and he looks like he's going to throw. But if he sees an opening like that, he'll take off, and he turns it into a 10-yard gain.
Another plus run there. I mean, they're just gashing them right now for at least 10 yards every run, just about.
They are in no rush here, as you can see, a 14-point lead and nearing the end of the third quarter. Knocking on the doorstep here are the Trojans. 2nd and 4 from the 9-yard line. Ball in the left hash. Prentice, read option, keeps it. Now pitches it out to Fennell, and he's going to walk into the end zone. What a play design there. Topinski on the fake, and then a pitch out to Fennell, and it's a 9-yard score for the Trojans.
That's some confidence there to get that ball to Maximus Moore because, that looked dangerous, but it worked out.
And I think that goes as a rush.
Yeah.
That didn't look like a forward pass. He was behind the line, but that pass was directionally backwards, and Fennell will get credit for a 9-yard touchdown run there. Make it 27-7. Now the extra point try is up and good for Ethan Marsico. 28-7 our score with 2:36 left in the third quarter. Take a step away here and come back for the Mount Pleasant Drive. You've got the best seat in the house to listen and watch the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
A good story makes people listen. A good story communicated well makes people take action. Carlow University's communication majors become experts at taking a good story, telling it effectively in written, oral, or digital communication, and then instilling it with a call to action that could change the world. Carlow communication majors participate in internships with Pittsburgh's leading companies, which helps them apply what they learn in the classroom to the real world. If you want people to take action, major in communication at Carlow. Please visit carlow.edu or call the department chair at 412-578-6347.
Third quarter action here from Mars Athletic Complex. I'm Corey Campano, Jaron Steele with me. The North Catholic Trojans get a 9-yard touchdown run from Jack Fennell to put them up 21 points. That's 21 unanswered. It's 28-7 in favor of the 2-seeded Trojans. Daniel Long on for the kickoff. Left sideline taken here, and looking for a little seam is Labuda. He gets up across the 30 and is going to be tackled right at the 35-yard line. So the Mount Pleasant Vikings trail by 21 and search for a score now. That will have to get one quickly here based on their style of offense, Jaron. They're not known for spreading it out and hitting a home run pass.
Well, yeah, that one was a gut punch there, I would say, after. And again, it's all started with a penalty because Mount Pleasant moving the ball down the field, got down to about the 40-yard line. Penalty brought it back and never recovered.
Now Asher O'Connor will go under center to start this drive. Man in motion right to left is Yester. Little misdirection play and getting it on the misdirection carry, which looked like there was a hole for Alexson, but it was closed quickly. Maziar's got a pretty good hit on Alexson there after a 1-yard gain. I think, Jaron, I hate to sound this over-exemptive about it, but, I mean, you're getting under 2 minutes in the third quarter. There's got to be some urgency here from Mount Pleasant. This is 21 points against a tough defense. O'Connor will give to Labuda. Good hole on the right side, and Labuda, north-south runner, gets up near the sticks. Takes a hit at the end of it. Maziar's in there again, but he got just enough. Needed 9 and got it.
See if they can keep it going. This is about the area of the field where they have committed a penalty that stalled things out.
Under 90 seconds in this third quarter now. O'Connor in the gun, man to his left. A couple receivers out to the right. That man is Labuda that gets the carry to the right side. Makes a little cut at the line of scrimmage and turns it into a positive gain up across midfield. Labuda is going to be marked at the 48-yard line. Nice pickup of 7 for Robbie. He's really done a nice job running the football here all evening.
Yeah, he's leads the team with 83 yards on 15 carries. Has that 1 touchdown. But they're running out of time here, third quarter.
Slow coming out of the huddle again for Mount Pleasant. Clock's still rolling. We're going to be under 40 seconds when this play is finally snapped here. They get it off, and it's a give to Labuda off the right side. And Labuda does a nice job, get towards the sideline, enough for the first down and out of bounds. Good seal on the right side of that line for Mount Pleasant to give Labuda that room. As he got 7 more, they mark it at the 41. 6. They put it back at the 42.
First and 10 from the 42.
Clock stops with 34 seconds left in this third quarter. 28-7 North Catholic the lead. On the right hash is Asher O'Connor under center now. They go right back to Robbie Labuda. Seems to be getting the ball every play now as he crosses the 40-yard line and is hit there after a short gain at the 38.
Yeah, he's going to close on 100 yards here. The issue for Mount Pleasant is they're down 3 scores. They need to get one in the end zone here as quick as possible.
He got 4 there. Now with 10 seconds left, they're going to get another play off, and it's a misdirection sweep to the right. That's Alexson who cuts it back after North Catholic was ready for it. But Alexson, that little nifty move to get across the 35-yard line, actually turned into a decent gain. They'll mark it at the 34, and that is the end of the third quarter. It'll be a 3rd and short for Mount Pleasant when we come back. You've got the best seat in the house to listen and watch the WPIAL football on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Unlock your story and find the power to do amazing things. California University of Pennsylvania gives you the keys to unlock your passions, your abilities, your dreams. With over 100 undergraduate and graduate programs and degrees, CalU will help you shape your story, change your world, and build your future. Unlock your story. Learn more at calu.edu.
Back for the start of the 4th here at Mars Athletic Complex. Jaron Steele with me. I'm Corey Campano. WPIAL playoff football here, Class 3A, the 2-7 matchup. The number 2 seed North Catholic Trojans leading the 7-seeded Mount Pleasant Vikings 28-7 after 3. Reminder that exclusive coverage of the WPIAL boys and girls soccer playoffs continues tomorrow and next week with video stream coverage of all 8 title matches only here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Big 3rd down coming up to start this 4th quarter.
They have it at the 34-yard line due the Mount Pleasant Vikings.
No passes so far on this drive, all rushes.
Most of it has been Robbie Labuda. He stands to the left of O'Connor, and Labuda will get it again. Tries to follow a block on the right side and does, and he's going to be right near that yard to gain. This will depend on the spot.
Maybe a tad short.
Needed to get to the 32-yard line. I think you're right, John. I think he's just outside the 32. Yeah, this will be 4th and inches here for Mount Pleasant. This is a large, large play for the Vikings. O'Connor comes out in the shotgun. Labuda stands to the right of him. Man in motion right to left. 4th and inches. They go back to Labuda, and he has the first down. Good push from the offensive line. Labuda needed about a half yard, and he got 2. They mark it at the 31-yard line and move the sticks for the Vikings. 11:15 on the clock in this 4th quarter.
Mount Pleasant's doing exactly what they want to do on offense, and that's run, run, run. The problem is they're down by 21.
Yeah, that would have worked out well early on in the game if they were moving the football at that time. Tough spot to be running nonstop now. In motion, Alexson. He'll get it on the sweep. Tries to get a block on that outside. He does momentarily, but good close that time by North Catholic. Alexson gets to about the 28. And that was a nice tackle on the outside by Matthias Benson.
They give him the 27 there. So another 4-yard run. Nice drive by the Vikings. They're moving the ball effectively.
Too little, too late.
Exactly.
Because we're almost at 10 minutes already now in this ball game. O'Connor sends a man in motion. Now they'll fake and look to throw. O'Connor screen to the left, caught there by Labuda. And Labuda does a nice job to get out of bounds. Takes a lick by Maher.
Oh.
He looked like he went down awkwardly there, but good to see Labuda hop right back up. It'll be 3rd and short for the Vikings now.
Yeah, they got 4 on that one. Labuda's first catch of the night.
They mark it at the 24-yard line. Line to gains the 21. 3rd and 3 for Mount Pleasant. O'Connor by himself in the gun. Sends Alexson in motion. Alexson gets it on the sweep. Cuts back towards the middle. Has a first down and more. Alexson runs into a tackler around the 15-yard line and drags him inside the 10. A nice run from Alexson. Sets up 1st and goal for Mount Pleasant.
Yeah, nice 14-yard pickup. Gets them in business here. Trying to cut this lead down to 2 scores, but if you're North Catholic, I can hear the coaches up there. They're not happy with the amount of yardage they're giving up, but at the same time, you got to be thinking, well, look at the clock. Maybe this is a good trade-off.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're already down near 9.5 left in the ball game. Mount Pleasant needs a score regardless. Man in motion now is O'Connor. Gives to Labuda up the middle. Labuda hits a tackler there around the 7 and keeps the legs moving near the 6-yard line.
That puts him over at 100 yards rushing for the night. He's carried the ball 20 times in this game. Coming into tonight, he had carried the ball around that for the entire year.
So they actually mark it at the 7.
Oh.
So it's a gain of 3.
Yeah, he's only at 99 now.
O'Connor now sends Alexson in motion. Fakes it and keeps it up the middle. Asher O'Connor runs into a tackler there. Not much room. North Catholic, good job to read it on the defensive end because O'Connor only got to the 5-yard line. So all of a sudden, 3rd and goal. It's got to be in the back of your mind here for Mount Pleasant that they absolutely need a score. And this is a situation where they have to have a play they know they can get 5 yards with. We've got a player down for North Catholic.
Yeah. Getting stretched out.
8:41 left in this ball game.
Labuda had 40 carries all season. He has 20 tonight, so he's half his workload for the season. Now, part of that is probably due to the fact that Pete Billy was injured in the first quarter. He had 70 carries coming into tonight's game.
And
so.
I think that obviously that was confirmed, the fear that he would not return in the game. He could not put any weight on his left leg and had to get helped off the field. Tough for that young man, senior ball player, and very well be his last game in a high school uniform. Trying to see who's down for North Catholic here. Looks like a cramped situation. It's Joey Prentice.
Oh, that's not good.
The man down.
And Vikings.
That's left leg being worked on. .841 left in this one. North Catholic trying to hold on to this 3-score lead. It'll be 3rd and goal from the 5 for the Mount Pleasant Vikings.
Yeah, Prentice.
Now they just get Prentice to his feet.
Looks like just maybe a cramp in that
definitely,
calf.
Yep, on the left hamstring calf area. Walking off gingerly.
So now 2 downs to try to get to within 2 scores from the 5.
Joey Prentice still walking off here, so the Vikings, you just saw Asher O'Connor look over like, hey, is he off yet? I'm trying to snap the football. Just does now, and hopefully Joey's okay for North Catholic. So here we go, 3rd and goal. O'Connor gives to Labuda off the right side. North Catholic ready for it. Big stop in the backfield by Benson. And he's going to lose yards, lose all the way back to the 9, it looks like.
Not as surprised to see Matthias Benson making a big play. His dad was a former New York Jet, played at Pitt. Now they could maybe the Jets could use his dad this year.
Yeah, they could use you, Jared.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't want to. I don't.
So they lost. They mark it just outside the 8, near the 9-yard line. This is 4th and goal for Mount Pleasant. We're under 8 minutes left. This is the ball game here for the Vikings, and I think Coach Fazekas realized that and calls a timeout to talk things over here. Reminder that every day HSSN has something new for high school football fans, including WPIAL and PIAA rankings, along with the district power rankings, 5 things to watch, game previews and recaps, chicks picks, and much, much more. Tune in on the network for all of those. And again, after the game, it's WPIAL Football Scoreboard Show presented by Comfort Keepers. Dawn Rebel live from the Excella Health Studios at HSSN World Headquarters as all the scores and recaps from the big games on opening night of the WPIAL playoffs. Don't miss the WPIAL Football Scoreboard Show presented by Comfort Keepers after the game here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Always a good time listening to Dawn recap everything.
He has a lot less to run through
He's
this time.
Got the great Bob Workwist coming in with him tonight.
Is that who's on?
Yep.
Bobby's on tonight.
Yep.
That's great. Definitely have to tune in. Bobby with Lanny right now over at Dormont Stadium.
Yeah, this quick run up 28 to this world headquarters. So this is the game right here. Not to overstate it, but they don't score.
Absolutely,
this is over.
7:55 left in the game. It's 4th and goal. Mount Pleasant has it just outside the 8-yard line. Asher O'Connor in the gun, sends him in motion. Bit of a low snap. He handles it. He'll throw it towards the goal line, and it's incomplete. Batted down from behind by Maziars. He was looking for number 12, Jared Yester, right at the goal line, and Maziars stood at the goal line, reached his right hand over, and broke the play up. And that's going to be tough for Mount Pleasant to regroup from that one with just 7:50 left and a 21-point lead, I should say, for the Trojans.
Well, that was only the second pass by O'Connor on that drive. It looked like they had a chance, but good defense knocked that ball away, and that's, I don't want to say it's over, but that's going to be tough. Joey Prentice is back in the game, by the way, playing quarterback. They were warming up the backup on the sidelines, number 11, Jason Sickett, but looks like Prentice is going to be good to go.
Definitely a cramp situation, which is good for the Trojan faithful. On first down, a give up the middle to Pinsky. Stopped near the line of scrimmage. He just drags a couple guys with him out across the 10. They'll mark it at the 12-yard line, give him 3. And if you're North Catholic right now, Jaron, there's 2 things on your mind. Keep the clock moving and protect the football.
Yeah, that's one thing that could get Mount Pleasant a glimmer of hope is if they were to turn it over.
And North Catholic smartly here, even though they don't exactly huddle. They look towards the sideline for the play call, and they'll run it down as much as possible until there's 1 or 2 seconds left on the play clock before snapping. We are already down to 7:08 and counting left in this football game. North Catholic leading by 21. Joey Prentice out there by himself in an empty set. Now Topinski motions left to right. Read option, keep for Prentice. Up the middle, little spin move, and now Prentice has daylight. Up across the 20, across the 25, and he's finally brought down there. Shoestring tackle made by Donovan Bear, but not before Prentice got to the 27.
Yeah, he's still feeling the effects of that cramp, but he's playing through it right now. And I believe that the referees are going to tell him that he has to come out, possibly? Nope, he's just asking if he's okay. He said, I'm good to go, so we're ready.
They mark it at the 28, 16 yards on the run for Prentice.
He's very close to 100 yards all of a sudden.
Having a nice game is number 1 in red. Pretty stellar numbers for 7 games of playing for Prentice, too. Not to mention coming into this game is kind of what you expect. Now Prentice will hand it off this time. Topinski takes a hit right at the 30-yard line, but falls forward up to the 31. Give him 3. Mount Pleasant in a tough situation right now, Jaron. You're kind of just staring up there saying, you know, we only got 2 timeouts left. Can't start trying to use those to stop the clock right now. And if North Catholic is getting 3-4 yards a pop, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, this is kind of drive that coaches love to close out a game. Just say, all right, we're just going to pound the football, and if you can't stop us, it's over.
And let's not forget North Catholic's been in these types of situations pretty much all year, playing with the lead. Run it down to near 5.5 before they'll snap this one. Now they do. Prentice will give it to Topinski off the left side. Huge block. Topinski cuts back across the 40. Picks up a block from Marr as he crosses the 50. Topinski inside the 30 now, and he's going to be forced out of bounds near the 25, the 24-yard line in Mount Pleasant territory. A huge run. He got a lot of help on the way, blocking from his teammates, but Topinski's best run of the night. Might have put a seal on this one.
47 yards, Corey, on that run.
The only thing that went in the Vikings' favor is that he ran out of bounds, but it was after 47 yards, as you mentioned, Jaron.
He's over 100 now, 105 after that carry.
Most notable runs were that one and the 26-yard touchdown. Clock stopped at 5:25. Just inside the 25-yard line for North Catholic. Joey Prentice will go under center. Snap, fake the Topinski, and now a give on the sweep to the outside, and a good job in the open field to make a tackle by Connor Johnson as Benson tried to dodge him. If he were to be successful there, he had a lot of green grass in front of him. But Johnson did a nice job to step up and make the tackle.
Yeah, Benson's first carry night, more known as a very good linebacker. He's been playing linebacker here for Coach O'Shea the last couple of years. We got a timeout on the field.
With 5:05 remaining in the game, Trojans took the timeout. They lead 28-7, so looks like, Jaron, barring anything crazy, they're going to move on to play Elizabeth forward, who was leading by a good margin against Freeport the last time we checked. Let's actually take another look here at the scores around this 3A bracket. Central Valley up 49-0 on East Allegheny. Keystone Oaks has come back. They now lead South Park 28-24.
How about that?
And Elizabeth forward beating Freeport 34-6. That one's almost over, so looking like a very possible North Catholic Elizabeth forward matchup right here at Mars next week.
Yeah, a couple other scores from other classifications that are of note. Plum now leading McKeesport 12-9.
That was another very close one that we talked about earlier. Let's take a look up at 6A, how that's shaking down. Boy, Central Catholic, 35-0 now. They're out to the lead on Mount Lebanon. We had another close one down. Laurel and Stowe Rocks now tied at 14 in Class 2A. A good one there. And Sarah Catholic hanging with McGuffey. That one's tied at 14. Some good action around the WPIL right now.
Now you got semifinals next week.
Yeah, and there's a semifinal matchup that most likely is going to be right here at Mars Athletic Complex.
Yeah, if North Catholic wins, it's guaranteed to be here.
That'll be a good matchup against the F. I could see us being right back out here, Jaron.
Maybe.
Option play out of the timeout to the left, and Topinski gets it and can easily just walk into the end zone. Boy, a little C parted there for Topinski to walk through, and it's a 24-yard touchdown run. 22-yard touchdown run to make it 34-7. That puts the cap on it here for North Catholic. That defense holds true again. I mean, coming into this, only giving up 8 points a game. They gave up 7 early and then locked down after that. North Catholic Trojans, the number 2 seed in this Class 3A tournament, going to hang undefeated, kick up and good. Perfect night for Marsico. 35-7, our score with 4:33 left in the game. And boy, Jaron, I mean, that play just looked way too easy.
It did. That was a nice pitch, and there was nobody out there to tackle Topinski. Big boy to tackle to begin with. We've seen him drag some people here tonight on runs, picking up extra yardage, but on that one he didn't have to. He was all alone, and he walked right in the end zone. And that comes off the heels of a 47-yard run earlier in the drive. So, yeah, it's North Catholic putting a stamp on it here tonight. They're going to move on.
And it'll be North Catholic and Elizabeth Forward next week right here, the 2-3 matchup. And across the other way of the bracket, we really don't know who's going to face Central Valley just yet, as that last score was Keystone Oaks 28-24 leading South Park. So a good one there, good finish, and who better to have that call for us tonight? Lanny and Bobby at that one at Dormont Stadium.
They got a good one last week, too, overtime game between Lebo and Seneca.
That was a wild one.
I
remember listening to Bobby's recap, too, on the scoreboard show. Him breaking it down. 35-7. With 4:33 left in this one, Daniel Long will kick it off again. Near the sideline, Mount Pleasant's going to touch it. That was touched and then trickled out of bounds. That was Connor Johnson. Thought about letting it go out of bounds. Then he touched it around the 10, and he had to fall on it out of bounds inside the 5-yard line.
Credit Marsico with a good kick there.
That was Daniel Long.
Oh, Long, I beg your pardon. Yeah, he did a good job kicking that ball and making him think about it. And then when it didn't go his way, he had to take his medicine. It's all the way back at the 4-yard line. Not what you wanted if you're Mount Pleasant, for sure.
96 yards to go to try and put up another score here before this one's over. 4:28 left in the game for the Vikings. Asher O'Connor, likely his last game in a Mount Pleasant uniform, the senior quarterback. Stands just inside his own goal line. Give off to the left side and to run up the middle. Nice seam. And out up across the 10-yard line is Labuda. He's going to be marked down short of the yard to gain, right at the 13. He got 9 on that one, though. Did Robbie Labuda.
He's over 100 yards now, Labuda, on the night.
Yeah, he's really run well the entire evening. Even sometimes on didn't look like the greatest push or the biggest hole, he's found a way to go. O'Connor will give it to him again. Labuda off that left side, cuts towards the middle, and he's up near the 20-yard line before he's brought down. Mark it right at the 20, actually. First down for Mount Pleasant.
22 carries, 115 yards, and a touchdown for Robbie.
That'll be it for Joey Prentice, I think, if North Catholic goes back onto the field as Sickett's warming up here on the sideline.
He's done his damage tonight,
that's for sure,
Joey Prentice.
O'Connor again goes to Labuda, left side, cuts back towards the middle, and a tackler waiting for him there as Labuda got up near the 23-yard line.
Yeah,
it was long.
Sorry, Corby. It's 35-7, but it doesn't feel like it just feels like Mount Pleasant could have had at least 2 more touchdowns in this game. That
they missed opportunities, especially in that second quarter. We were talking about the big play that came back with the legal man downfield.
Yeah, and then the interception at the end of the first half in the end zone. They got stopped on 4th and goal at the 9 too, and later in the fourth quarter here. Credit North Catholic; they've had the answer every time.
Labuda gets the call again. Left side, will lose yards here. Ready for it that time were the Trojans. And Labuda lost 1, maybe 2. Just outside the 20-yard line. Just nearing 2 minutes, 30 seconds left in this one. North Catholic's going to win this one and play Elizabeth Forward next week here at Mars Athletic Complex in a 2-3 matchup. It'll be the semifinals in this Class 3A bracket. Winner of that one will face either Central Valley, Keystone Oaks, or South Park, and that'll be on Friday the 13th at North Allegheny High School, 7 p.m.
How about that? You sure they want to schedule a championship on Friday the 13th?
Well, they already did.
Yeah. We got games on Halloween tomorrow.
O'Connor with a nice throw over the middle on 3rd and long, and he completes it to Jared Yester, who gets out across the 35-yard line. Good hook up there to the 37. Give him 15 on the pass play. And for Jared Yester, nice way to go out for him, the senior.
First catch of the game. Longest pass play of the game for Mount Pleasant.
O'Connor will go back to the run. Labuda off the left side, cutting towards the middle. Didn't get that block he was looking for on the edge. And that was Maziarz that made the tackle. But Labuda did get to the 41. Give him 4.
He's had a fine night tonight. And if you look at their roster, he's only a sophomore, and Alexson's only a junior, so both those guys coming back next year.
Lofting pass out to the right side on a throw for O'Connor. He was looking for Bear. Tipped off the tops of his fingertips and fell incomplete, so the clock will stop with 1:02 left in this game, and it'll be a 3rd and 6 for Mount Pleasant.
Well, tomorrow we'll be back at it with some soccer on the network, as well as volleyball.
Do it all.
And then next week, it's a big week. We got semifinal soccer, semifinal football, championships abound. Should be a good time.
O'Connor here will drop and roll out to the right. Look to throw. Has a man, and it's caught there. Donovan Bear made the catch. Little slip move back around the 45-yard line. And he's brought down at the 44 in North Catholic territory. Another 15-yard hook up there. Donovan Bear making that catch. Donovan's a senior as well, so nice that these guys are getting in the stat category before this one's over. Hopefully that Pete Billy is okay after that injury in the first quarter. Hopefully it wasn't too serious. Throw out to the left here. Bear was the intended receiver again as O'Connor sailed that one. 29 seconds left in this one. Again, after the game, WPIAL Football Scoreboard Show presented by Comfort Keepers. Don Rebel live from the Excella Health Studios at HSSN World Headquarters. He has all the scores and recaps from the big games of the opening night of the WPIAL playoffs. Don't miss the Scoreboard Show presented by Comfort Keepers here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. 29 seconds away in this one from North Catholic moving on to the semis. They did not get there last year, lost in the quarters to South Park, so step forward for the Trojans this year as Robbie Labuda gets a carry. Big hole up the middle, and Labuda bounces it to the right. Robbie Labuda still going inside the 10 before he's finally brought down from Mitch Lanthaler. Robbie Labuda on that one. See where they mark it. At the 8. 32-yard run for Labuda. He was out of bounds, so clock is stopped with 21 seconds left here. And a 1st and goal for Mount Pleasant. O'Connor will go back to Labuda off the right side, picks up a block. Robbie Labuda dives for the goal line. He's in. Touchdown, Mount Pleasant. With 15 seconds left, Robbie Labuda is in from 8 yards out.
Second touchdown rushing for Labuda tonight, and he's going to finish, barring another series, with 160 yards tonight.
Good running from the sophomore Labuda, 6'1", 170 pounds. He's also the kicker, so he's out there to try and tack on another one here. 15 seconds left before Mount Pleasant was able to get another score after that response early in the first quarter. Labuda's extra point is good. 35-14 our score, and the Mount Pleasant faithful that have traveled still in the stands across the way, and they give one last hand clap there for Labuda and the Viking offense that got into the end zone. go through some of these numbers here tonight, Jaron. So Joey Prentice finished.
Well, he had 94 yards rushing on 9 attempts. He was 11 for 18 for 156 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Maher, 5 receptions, 101 yards, 2 touchdowns. Topinski, 15 for 127 rushing with 2 touchdowns.
Nice night for a lot of those key players that we talked about in the pregame coming in for North Catholic. Joey Prentice, good to see that he was healthy to play this game. Got hurt last week, but did finish the football game, and now was off here in the fourth quarter for a couple plays due to cramps. North Catholic will face the number 3 seed EF next week in a showdown to see who goes to North Allegheny for the championship. Robbie Labuda kicks a line drive. Topinski catches it just inside the 40-yard line. So with 15 seconds left at the 39, North Catholic should kneel down there. What did we say that Maher had there, Jaron?
5 for 101.
5 for
and
101
2 touchdowns.
and those 2 TDs. And the big players, as we mentioned, Labuda gets 24 carries for 116 and 2 touchdowns. Also had the 2 extra points as North Catholic out there with 14 seconds left. They kneel the football. That'll do it. Mount Pleasant Vikings, their season comes to an end here at a loss in Mars Athletic Complex. The North Catholic Trojans will play here again next week against Elizabeth Forward, assuming that score ends up holding on. We were late in the game, and it was a big lead for EF. But we'll take a break, come right back to wrap things up. You're listening to the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
For the most complete recap of Friday night's high school football action, tune in on your way home from the game to the WPIAL Scoreboard Show, presented by Comfort Keepers, only on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Hi, this is Don Rebel. Join me and Team HSSN for all the scores, with recaps from the top games and a wrap-up of the night's action on the HSSN Roundtable. That's the WPIAL Scoreboard Show, presented by Comfort Keepers, Friday nights after the game on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Back to wrap things up from Mars Athletic Complex. The final score, North Catholic 35, Mount Pleasant 14. North Catholic scored first, got out of the gate, and Mount Pleasant answered to make it 7-7, but that run for North Catholic where they scored the next 28 points to make it 35-7 before giving up a touchdown at the end on a Robbie Labuda carry, 35-14 our final. Again, Joey Prentice, 9 carries for 94 yards. He also threw 18 times, completed 11, 156 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. Maher, the big game receiving, had 2 touchdowns, 101 yards receiving. Labuda was the carrier for Mount Pleasant, 24 carries, 116 for 2 TDs. We'll try and get the final score here. You can listen to the scoreboard show. Don Rebel's about to start that up and run down some scores. Should be Elizabeth Forward and North Catholic here next week. Jaron Steele running down to the field to get some interviews of the coaches. So for my partner, Jaron Steele, I'm Corey Campano signing off. North Catholic wins it 35-14 over Mount Pleasant, and they move on to the semifinals. It's been another edition where you've had the best seat in the house for the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Masterson is a credentialed impact consultant and leader in concussion management. Excella Health.
You have been listening to WPIAL Football 2020 here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network, and sponsored by Seton Hill University, by Excella Health, by Comfort Keepers, by California University of Pennsylvania, and by Trib Total Media. Follow the WPIAL football scene and all fall sports every day by logging on to tribhssn.triblive.com. The preceding has been a special presentation of the Trib Live High School Sports Network.